Wah! Where am I? Hello? Oh, there I am. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bimbo Cat Food. If it's your first time here, a double welcome to you. And also, I love you, but not as much as I love my girlfriend. I am Luka, and today we're gonna play Citizen fucking Sleeper, a game that I've had on my radar for a little bit, and have been meaning to play, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I mean to play it, and then I never get around to it, and now we're getting to it. Hold on, I actually have to add this to my OB. Because I forgot to do that. Hello, Lila. Hello, Warfy. Warfy unbanned from stream for today. Actually, I'm gonna do this one solo, I think. Like, totally solo, because it's been a little bit since we've done a Justin. That's exciting. Properly fit. Play. There we go. Alright, we're actually just gonna get into it, because I don't know much about this game. I know very little about it, so we're gonna find out. Alright, so I have it on good authority that this game is about capitalism. You will be rebanned within 4 hours. That's true, because we're doing more Ace Attorney tomorrow. Why is the chat not on the stream? Oh, why is... Oh, that ended up underneath everything. How did that happen? So funny, Lila. There we go. That's better. Okay, let's hit a new game. Ooh. Hold on. I didn't reckon that I would be selecting a character. Who do I want to be? Oh, is there only 2? Oh, there's 3. Venus. Operator. An operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Plays Paladin. Oh, okay. Where's Dark Knight? I think I'll do Extractor. I like that. I like that whole vibe. Alright. I hope y'all are doing good today. I've been experiencing today. I had kind of a rough morning, and then I napped, and then I played Burnout Paradise. So, it's on the up. Today is on the up. Kind of forcing myself to stream today because I know, generally speaking, streaming makes me feel better, so. Okay. Text. Data. Okay. I need brain rot. Yeah. Fucking Warfy and I had an entire extended conversation about Aini over the course of 24 hours of just, like, theory dumping. It was good. Alright, let's read. Let's read words. The first thing you become aware of on walking is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling. Between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking. When yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person. To be in a body that was indisputably yours. Oh, this is kinda... This is a little bit Disco Elysium. Well, think of that body. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day. The sting of blood welling from a fresh wound. The friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach until you can't tell one from the other. Oh! Charles. Hello, Charles. Thank you for pets. The body doesn't have rollback net code. Oh no! The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensations fade out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dull nature of this new body, given your current circumstances. The walls of the container feel immediately present, cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain, at least. In emergency mode is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Ooh. You remember there were 10 of you. 10 that could no longer stand the indentured work, the routines, the slow decay. 10 whose belief in their promised future was slowly dismantled day by day until they realized they had sold away everything that could and would ever matter. 10 that would escape, or at least die trying. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers. But the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach any destination. Let's try to rest. But you are restless. It has been a long time since you left, surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Time passes, the cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor. Sound, too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light. White as the cold, softer and softer until in a haze of dirty yellow a figure appears. You are out. Oh. We're in space! Cool. That's a really fucking good intro. Great intro. It's been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sat huddled in the corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. I have experience with this with like a hard space shipbreaker. At least what it's describing here, and it's an aesthetic that I love. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. Oh, fucking Dragos looks fucking gruff, right? Okay, let's do a gruff voice. Am I gonna do voice acting for this? Sure, why not? Why the fuck not? So, Sleeper, you all thawed yet? Almost. Ever seen one of you come in like this? New frames must have better perseverance than Sub-Zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his head set with its glinting eyes the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking you with an unflinching stare. Oh, look at that. A cool drone. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he is just figuring out what to do with you. What happened to them? He ignores your question. I want to ask what led you to do it. To sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now, and you were just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. You're not along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells. The promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer a person. You are an offshoot. A copy. Oh. Oh, we got some, like, fucking Soma shit. Okay. Alright. What you don't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours has fallen apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out.
SNR wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well, no one can.
You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence. A built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them and your body begins to shut down, separate from your emulated mind. Separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have?
But for now, Sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones.
Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard.
The Eye is the best place you could be right now.
The Eye?
The station. You'll see soon enough.
Dragos impatiently shifts his weight.
Look, I've got things to be getting on with.
He trails off.
There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you are welcome to it.
Something wells up inside of you. Emotion. Fatigue. You shakily get to your feet.
Alright, you head on up there. You look like you need some rest.
And with that, Drago stalks back into the Rex, his drones already converging on a rusting hulk. Plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Drago seems fucking cool. Dragos is my friend. Ooh. Welcome to Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. Okay. What's data? What does that mean? Hold on, wait. I wanna do character. Oh, fuck. Okay, this is like a full RPG, huh? Alright, cool. End cycle. I was actually just kind of expecting this to be like a visual novel. I didn't expect it to be like a proper RPG. Huh. Though I can already see it's like mostly visual novel. You wake, curled in the corner of the container, and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its messages readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Building a life, I guess. Maybe you did get lucky finding yourself here. Maybe here, on the edge of everything, there's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container. The mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you finish drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can, and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Huh. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but you can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. What condition bar is this, then? The orange one. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Okay. Action dice is these up here. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Energy, I guess, is the bottom bar. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. Okay. You know, I wouldn't figure that I would have to eat. This absolutely does feel like a TTRPG system repurposed for a video game, and I like that a lot. Like, having a set number of dice per day is like, that's and so you have like a certain number of actions per day is like, that's really good. That's really good. I like it. I like this game already. I think this game is neat. Dragos is stood in the corridor when you close up the container. He's still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How you feeling? Not good. The drone chirps. Dragos nods. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked up by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. Alright then. He nods. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to the shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally, we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper, you'll be used to the manual labor. And obviously, I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Chits? These. He pulls out a handful of small metal bars. Airwalled cryo, isolated from the market. It's what we use for trade out here. He stuffs them back in a pocket. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can, and sleepers, well... He trails off. The things being the way that they are for me at the yard. He pauses. I need the help. Why? Things are a little tight, that's all. I owe a little cryo to a client here or there. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Okay. Dragos' yard. So, looking at this character, I actually wouldn't expect that we would need to eat. Like, that's kind of unexpected just based on our physical makeup. I would think that we are mostly or almost entirely robot. Just based on how it's been described. I guess maybe the robots need to eat. Ooh. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, click and drag your chosen action dice through the slot. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy, condition, or items depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. Yeah, that tracks. Oh my god, this is literally like Monster of the Week rules for like dice rolls, basically. Except, oh, I guess like, no, maybe not, because these still like, these open up chances for like, oh, so it's not like 5 and 6 are positive and 4 and 3 are like mid. It's like, it opens up chances for neutral and negative the lower you get. That makes sense. Okay. Actions display information about their type, risk level, and the skill and modifiers that apply to that action. Type. Either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. I would absolutely play the hell out of this TTRPG. God, I'm just thinking now that like Meat Punks has a TTRPG now, and that would be really fun to run at some point. Either safe, risky, or danger. Okay. No loss of condition. Negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. The skill that this action requires, either engineer, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. Okay, cool. So, a debt called in. Dragos is tied up in something ugly, and if he misses a payment or two, things will get nasty. Every salvager knows they are always just one lucky haul away from the next payday. I could do risky. That seems fun. Because, I mean, we have assured positive benefits, right? Unless it... Does it roll each dice at the start of the day? Oh, it does! Oh, that's so cool! Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them. And they track your actions and how they affect the world. Nothing a clock means something, good or bad, is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Dragos' debt, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. Okay. So that's done. Oh, but I have a +1 on this. So I could do that. In Citizen Sleeper, you unlock drives as you discover more about yourself in the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives depending on which path you wish to take. You can track drives, and a track drive will place a yellow marker on locations that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu via the arrow button at the top left of the screen. So drives are like quests, I guess. You are now free to explore Erland's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and find a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories, then find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you're out of dice. Well, I only have 1s left, which is not ideal. Okay. Leave. Find a doctor. I guess I can't do anything? Oh. Okay. How do I... I should be able to move this. Ah! Last. Oh, is this like a... Wait, is this like a Halo? So this is nothing right now, then. Okay. Guess the doctor's not in. Oh, what about this? Oh, wait, no. Different? That means something different. Oh! This is doctor. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. This seems like not a great idea. Oop. Okay. Where can I get... Damn, okay. I got no fucking dice, huh? I can still succeed with a 1, that's true, but also on one of them is dangerous, and also the other one is a -1. Is the thing. I guess I could still try. I mean, yeah, I mean, this opens up interesting narrative, right? I mean, oh no, I only have chance for neutral and negative on that, and that's danger. This seems weirdly less risky. Because this can't go any lower, right? Oh shit. Manage to follow the flow of people and you start to appreciate, even enjoy, the chaotic layout of the markets. Oh, okay. Can you do this again? I got more local knowledge! Yay, I need to go rest now, because I don't... Oh, fuck. Oh, hold on. Next comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you were here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block... They have all made the long queue a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, this body, your body, will... You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. You lean against the doorframe and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by the green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. You lean in and see amber light filtering through a far doorway screened with plastic sheeting beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. Wait your turn, he growls. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway and you catch a distant voice. So the next one in, Toshiro. The enforcer jerks his head and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the forward door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market's sealed roof and the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment, you are transfixed by the motion. Ooh, look at this fucking character. You're cool. Come, sit, calls out a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak, they blink, and then quickly regain their composure. Please sit. They gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. Remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been on the station? They ask, the scanner still to their eye. A few cycles. They nod. It's good you came to me. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying. They say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SNR doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose. That to prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping, they built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which SNR remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? Oh wait, I think they're NB. I don't think they've actually gendered this character. No, they haven't. NB, hell yeah. Fuck yeah. How do you know this? They shift in their seat. You aren't the first sleeper I've encountered. You wait for more, but they go back to their inspection. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, but you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers, as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and SNR has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say something. Anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help. They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes, hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside? You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yadagon. They are influential in the low end. They give me this space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. But Yadagon has connections. Smugglers from the starboard belt. Mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine is fucking cool. I like Sabine a lot. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. Why help me? Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Ooh, look at this! Look at this dude! What a cool dude. Emphis is busy, his broad face uplift by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables in some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with the bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A stack of chits rattles in his apron pocket as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. I'll approach. I need food. You join the queue. It's mostly made up of off-duty salvagers, vac suits unzipped, and roll down to expose stained vests, grubby mods, a lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food in the eye, the best drink, comparing notes on bright market dives, their words cut through with heavy spacer slang. Eventually, it's your turn, and you shuffle to the front. Memphis speaks in a deep, even tone, without looking up. First try is free. Thank him. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. The earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy, the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire, and your skin hardens in its glare. I know you. You sleepers. Memphis says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap with piercing eyes. I know. Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container, and the needless cycles and the endless cycles spent within it. Now it seems you tell him, like some dream that you once had, but can never forget. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you, and you are unsure where to walk, where to look, what to do. Eventually, you tail off, running out of words. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your head. Next time we can talk some more. He smiles. The next time, you pay. He slams a heavy hand against the button on the burner's side and it shuts off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to oil the walk. Before you turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicately sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Oh god, the fucking writing in this game is just like, mwah, mwah. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good. Like, it's already just making me feel shit. I should probably... I mean, this is kind of blinking. Like... Though, yeah, I guess, like, Sabine doesn't have much right now. Okay, let's take a nap. Your frame's photosynthetic skin allows you to gather energy from sunlight. The longer you stay, the better. I don't have dice. Oh, that's sunbathing. No, I just... Yeah, okay. End the cycle. Like, already, like, I like every single element of this game. This time, you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station that's shifting skeletal rings surrounds you. For a moment, you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. Then the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange and then extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into the millions of distributed nodes they connect to. You see the station. No, you feel the station, like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Touch it. You find a point in the station and you connect to it, pulse through it, follow loops and paths under and around it. Touch more points than you have fingers, and then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try to touch them too. You notice a tugging feeling, pulling at you, insistently as if it were a small child. Somehow it is pulling in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second, and you feel it waiting there. The station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then it is gone. Damn, I don't have very many good dice today, huh? I guess they gave me double sixes for the sake of tutorialization and not necessarily because that should be expected. Okay. Oh, I actually have to wait 3 days for the bean to get the stabilizer. Okay. Then I guess I should eat, right? Order fungus. I have money. Okay. Yay, I have more energy. Oh yeah, let's leave. And let's go work, I guess. Dragos does need the help. Alright, this seems safe. Oh. Okay. What is data? What is that? That can be like text logs or something? Okay, let's see what else we can do. Rotunda. Oof. I don't have a lot of good shit going on. No, that's a negative. Hold on. We'll leave that for now, and we'll see our other options quick. I mean, I might as well do this. This is a -1 anyway, right? Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's completed? I don't know what that means. Oh, plus drive. Build a ship mind. You've heard talk of a fabricator owned by the Ort Exchange. With that and a few fragments, you could build a ship mind core. Oh, fuck. Okay. Shit. Well, that's not ideal. Pass into the low end. This needs money, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm pretty broke right now. Go sleep, I guess. I wonder how I, like, level up and stuff. Okay. Again, the skeletal ring of the station fills your mind. It sparkles with glittering lights, like stars reflected in a winter lake. It is clear, crisper than before. The threads still pull, but you remain in place, flickering in the flow. Between the threads, you see bright shapes, caches of shimmering light beneath transparent crystal forms. You follow the path of a thread across the ring, through these forms, then leap off into the void. You begin to understand. These are nodes and connections, a map of information, of communication. There are so many layers, so many loops, that it seems almost impossible to parse. But you begin to try. The nodes are glassy, bright, but in all this flow, the only solid and fixed points. You approach one, a pyramid or a triangle, dimensions are difficult here, and lean close to it. Inside, shifting layers conceal a tangle of threads, a meeting point of exchange. But before you can glimpse any further, the glass clouds and hardens, cutting you off. The threads and nodes, passages and puzzle boxes, one leads to another. There's so much here, so many answers, so many questions. All you need to do is follow the paths and open the boxes. You look out across this ghost landscape of exchange and see an opportunity. But then that insistent tugging again, pulling at you. You look down again and see two lines, two threads pulling in different directions, as if they were tied around you. The second thread leads in, pulling deep into the station. Your gaze follows it, and this time you see something. A sphere shimmering above a strange angular body. A pulse shoots out from it, passing over you like a torch beam, testing you, tasting you. The first thread leads out, away from the station into the inky black. Someone out there is tracking you, hunting you, following the thread to you. They are in a ship, and the ship is approaching ever closer with each cycle. You open your eyes. Time is short. Damn! Oh, that's so good! Something has changed inside you. You can now access the data cloud of the Eye, a network of decaying protocols and data caches. While there, you can use dice and items to access systems and extract data. But be careful, these networks are old and strange. Click the Eye button at the top of the screen to toggle this view on and off. Oh! Oh, that's cool! Data actions allow you to extract data from the networks of the Eye. They work like dice actions, but in order to unlock them, you must match your dice to the one displayed on the right of the action. If you have a +1 or +2 modifier in the interface skill, you will be given more possible dice to match. You can use any dice that matches the dice displayed. Once unlocked, the data can be extracted. I have a 1! That gives me a use for the, like, lower end of the... Of the dice. Yeah, I'll do this, because... we need to help Jagos out, right? Also, I need food. I definitely need food. I definitely need to eat at Emphas' place. I like Emphas. Oh, fuck! I don't have I don't want this. What do I do with the data? Scrap component. I guess I could work again. That would probably be the smart thing to do. But I am salvaging. Like I do that. That's the work that I'm doing, right? But I think I might get scrap from this. Oh no, this gets me something else. I don't know what this is. Eat at Emphasis. Okay, cool. We're kind of out of actions now. Gain access to the Ort Fabricator, which is this. I have to play the exchange here. And do this. Sell components. Okay, I get it. I guess I'll rest. How do I level up? That's still unclear. I'm still unclear on how I level up. But I guess we'll see. Okay, 3 dice. I have less dice today. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wake up. Wait up. Turn. Oh, hello. Fang is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. Do I know you? He grins. You do now. He puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start in the Eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it old Erland said? The Eye opens for us all? Nice idea, but, well, not always very practical. He glances back at you. We do our best, but it isn't easy. We? You pass together into the main walkway. Havenage. We're all one dysfunctional family. Fang puts an arm around you. I'm not part of the security branch, though. Don't worry. I'm with systems. Systems? Everything the Eye runs on. He runs a hand along the passage wall. This place is a ruin, but systems keeps it spinning somehow. At least we try to. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I saw you around, and, well,
I know a little about you sleepers. I have a little proposition for you. He glances around, but this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare, then, when you are settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done. He pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks off down the passage, raising a hand in farewell. That's suspicious. The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eyes, in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark, and you push through the sheeting into the surgery. I have it. Sabine stands with the case open in front of them. A set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how Yatagan... They trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. I am the test case? That seems to be the case. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have another choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. Fucking in English, Four Eyes. Which means the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. They glance away. At least if the stabilizer is genuine. The only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin readying the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. How sure are you? I'm working with best guesses here, but the case, the vials, it looks authentic. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe, and you watch as if any sign would emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection, but with little response. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzling, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you saddle back against the bed. You swim in darkness, muffled noises like an argument heard from underwater, trickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? What happened? The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yatagan acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you are going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients. Sorry. Sabine nods toward the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You are going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you have been out. Sabine? Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out to the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Hey, we're stable. That's good. I like being stable. Let's go work with Dragos then. Let's do... I have a 4. So we'll use the 4. Be great if I could get enough cryo. Yeah, let's do one more, since that'll finish off that little circle. Or not. Well, I want to save that last dice. So, I'll save it. I'm a fungus fan. Now, I'm curious about this. Let's see what this is. Ooh, okay. That's not my sleeper's forte necessarily. Yeah, it is curious that they're a neutral. I guess those are successes, and then positive ones are crits, I think is how Lila put it. I guess we'll leap. Hey, okay, that's a lot more actions. Dang. Let's work with Dragos really quick. It is very powered by Apocalypse, yeah. Fuck yeah, okay. That is done then. Dragos. You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across a vast dark shape suspended below the drone. They flicker across scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's a beauty, isn't she? Drago stands to the side, focused on the hulking ship as it is lowered into the yard. What is it? Dragos laughs. That, my friend, is A-grade scrap. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Dragos for this monstrous craft. You can't help but think of what became of its crew. What happened? What do you mean? Glances at you. Managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on credit, that's what happened. No, what happened to the ship? Not my concern, he shrugs. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said he shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. The drones start to crawl over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of dented hull. Watching, you wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside that container. The wreck of the Essenarp freighter lowered to the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered? Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own, a womb for your rebirth into this strange station? You shudder. Perhaps if we learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Dragos squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we're up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side. Winter Light. Let's do it. He claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few and we can make a start. Real beauty. Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting, and then slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. Oh, yeah. You got upgrade points for completing objectives. Yeah, okay. I think Intuit would probably be a good one to put points into. So we're at least at 0 with it and not at -1. So what we do is at least determined by dice and not necessarily chance. Have some fungus. Or, I guess, dice is still leaving it to chance, but it's less by chance than... Actually... Well, it's less variable, I guess. Sleeper! Memphis calls out to you, a booming voice echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you, cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? Any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours. He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause, the spices itch in your nostrils, and think about the kind of story you'd like to tell Memphis. You look at Memphis, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. Tell him about your dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Emphas, had dreams. But your dreams, those gray, skeletal afterimage of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares. They were reflections of reality. Distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned, back then, to keep quiet about them. To let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. Now, where your dreams colonize your waking life, they slip behind your eyelids with every blink. And now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps you reason it is just some side effect or particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift, and you hope to make use of it. Emphas finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. You were quite the storyteller. He eyes you and you realize that he is trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Emphas passes you the meal he has cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the emptying market. My time is done for today, and I do not want to keep you longer, so I will make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind his stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap in the Greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this? No. Neither had I, but I trust the one who told me. Emphas begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I'm sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I will prepare them for you, and, if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Agreed. Good, booms Emphas. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Emphas slides his walk away and straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphas's food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think. A trade that seems more than fair. God, that's so cool. Like, yeah. Fucking a shop that you pay in stories is, like, such a fucking good idea. Let's play the exchange really quick. Hey, okay. Whoops. Let's look. We have some nodes here. Done that one. We need a 2. I'm trying to offload this one so I just don't have it. Data! What is that? Input 1 Solheim cipher. Okay. 3. Yeah, I have a 0 in interface. Oh. Ah, there we go. Oh, if there was a shop that you pay in hot takes, I'd be rich. As you drift back from the node, something latches onto you. A thread strung tight around you. It tethers you in place. A taste. The voice makes you shiver. Its source somehow both distant and close behind your ear. You see a distant glint of light shut off, and then suddenly a shape is at your side. It stalks around you, circling like a shark, like a wolf. Entity unknown. Astringent. Processing. Whoa! Look at that! You struggle against the thread, and it tightens in response. A glittering garrote. Please hold. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder. A tunnel of lights circle around you. It is blinding for a moment, and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature, in front of you. Its strange head flickers between different angles, reading you. What are you? The shape paces around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on. Entity identify. Origin, serial, cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. Sleeper, Essenarp. Unknown, known. The figure's strange head rotates. Brackish signature, of and not of. Attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Stop. The figure halts its threads, its head twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience? I'm a person. Incorrect. You're an entity. All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste. The one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. Sealed dock? An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends its razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Strike? You lash out with all your force. Not a physical strike, but a focusing. A spike of interference leaping out like the tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, separates. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. Fuck. That's so fucking cool. Ooh. Get some scrap. Look at me, plus energy. Finish unloading ahead of schedule, and one of the crew invites you aboard to share a warm meal as thanks for your efforts. Oh, so positives gives you extra benefits. I see. Okay, that makes sense. We should go talk to Fang. Sleeper. Fang catches your attention as you approach the Havenage building, leaning against the bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come in this way. Security and all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Fang inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There is a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Fang leans on a server stack and gestures around. You like it? It's incredible. He smiles widely. I thought you'd say that. He taps a nearby server stack, which bleeps in response. This is my treasure trove. I'll dredge up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block, speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station. I don't even know how to pronounce that. The one Solheim built. We've had to invent new components, repair things we never built. Reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up to the Eye and think they are seeing a concrete reality. But this place is a system in a constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We are keeping this place alive, but also remaking it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate origins. He stops. At least, that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines, humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems and sections. You can, can't you? I can see it. It makes sense, right? You are between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker, to realign, to follow your gaze. Fang notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you were on the run, though? They're tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help you with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see. Access protocols lost to time and decay. Secrets. A shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Havenage, there's old growth. Those whose roots trace back into those bad old days. You help me dredge up the past, and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? I'm in. Fang pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Fang passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift. He smiles. It's a Solheim cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate, and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, sleeper, and I'll see you soon. You step, blinking, back out into the passage. Those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. Okay, so this is where I can sell data. Okay, cool. Easy peasy. Fang will pay you for any Solheim data you dredge up from the eyes of the systems. What he does with it is anyone gets. What about this? It has to be this. Or something else entirely. Oh, he wants me to grab specific stuff. Like, from here. Huh. So, I have access to this. Oh, look at that. Okay. This is actually super fucking interesting. Also, the idea that there's a hunter, and if I do too much of this, they'll, get my shit, is, like, really cool. We've eaten. Vagos's yard has... Oh. Huh. I definitely can't do both of these unless I devote multiple actions a day to doing them. That's interesting. Picking through the wreck cutter is slow work, but you start to piece together the impact patterns and blast mark. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Hey, this game is really fucking cool. I don't think I need any stabilizer yet. How much is it? Oh, wow! Sabine, I am not fucking made of money. Are you kidding me? I guess the idea is that, like, you'll slowly... your instability will slowly grow. And eventually you'll have less and less dice to do actions, and then you can... That's fine. That adds, like, a level of difficulty to, just playing the game. I like that a lot. So Feng specifically wants this kind of data. Get from the Solheim. Yeah, it is definitely worth. But probably not worth when we're, like, you know, at this point. So, like, maybe when we get halfway down and we have the money, we'll go for it. Actually, I was lower than half. Well, I was probably, like, around here, probably. Oh, I have a 6. Don't know if there are new events. Emphasis stall. I can go... So he said something about across the gap. Disable your tracker. Oh! That'll get rid of one of our, like, negative things. Okay, so that means I have to... Right. Okay. Let's go hack then. This needs a 1. Do that easy. Gets me Solheim data. Hell yeah. Then we need a 2. Okay. Okay. I get it. I got it. I understand. That basically means I am limited to a certain number of... Oh, wait, what's this? I should try that too. So then we can go and sell this two thing. Damn, okay. That's actually really good money. And what do I do with this other data that I have? Let's go work in the shipyard. Use one of the 5s on this. It gave me energy. Ooh, +2 to yard hand. Okay. I don't know what this is. Actually, we haven't explored this much, have we? That might be where steel dock plans. Damn, okay. Easy peasy. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, we got a greasy bar. We got a fucking mercenary. Oh, yo! Look at them! Alright, hey, let's take a little break, and we'll come back. This game's super fucking cool so far. I'm having an excellent time. Y'all sit tight. I'm back. Hello. Hold on, I need to take a sippy of my water. Hold on. Hold on. Be cool. Be chill. Okay. Alright. Look at this fucking character. I get pets. Awesome. Okay. Hey, you. Want to earn a chit? Ankita stands beside a huge pile of tied together hull plates. She stretches out her back, her shoulders bulging beneath her flight suit. Make it 2. Ankita laughs. This goddamn station. She sighs and pinches the bridge of her nose. Alright, come here then. You cross the docking concourse as she begins to split the plating into 2 bundles. What is it with this place? She asks as she angrily lashes the massive plates together. Everyone wants their cut. She straightens up to an imposing height, her armor plates creaking, and looks you up and down. Or is it just that you all think I'm an easy mark? We all need to survive. Ankita softens. I get it, I do. She shakes her head. But if I could go just one cycle without some jumped-up grifter trying to take me for an idiot, then that would be nice. Ankita hoists one bundle of plating onto her shoulder. Come on then, enough chat. You've got to earn those chits. You struggle to shoulder the plates, but you do eventually. Ankita gives you a look. Chips this way. And she sets off down a gantry at massive speed. As you catch up to her, she turns down a passage, pushing through a small crowd of stevedores? Stevedores. Why are you doing this yourself? You mean why aren't I hiring those good folk? You know, it's back in the stevedores. Stevedores? Stevedores! Hold on. Stevedores. Stevedores? Hold on. Oh, it is stevedores. Okay. Thanks, Google. You mean why aren't I hiring those good folk? She nods back at the stevedores. I've paid Havenage enough. They are currently rinsing me for a mooring I can't vacate unless I either fix the ambergris or sell it off as scrap. Ambergris, is that your ship? You catch on fast. She gives you another of her looks. She rapidly turns another corner as you trail behind. She got cut up pretty bad in our last job, and I had to moor up here for a spell. But since then, it's only gotten worse. Someone got in and sliced the core from our ship mind. So now she's gone dark. She shifts the panels on her shoulder. The upshot is that I'm short one ship mine with a ton of repairs to do, and the rest of the crew signed off the moment they got wind I'd been stranded. So yeah, it's been a time. Sorry to hear it. Anything I can do to help? I don't know. Got a ship mine tucked away on that frame of yours? For a moment, you aren't sure if she is serious. Ankita swings the plates from her back, almost knocking you over in the process. This is me. She hauls the second bundle off your shoulder. You're the first person I've met here who might actually be considered helpful. She pauses, chewing her bottom lip. Look, you want to help? Come see me. I need a hand putting Amber back together, and you don't seem like the type to try anything stupid. She passes the bundles of plates through the ambergris's outer lock and then turns back. Just don't go spreading all this around. Ankita throws you a couple of chits. She gives you a parting nod and ducks through the doorway. Alright, get out of here. She calls back and the lock slams shut. Okay. Huh. So that would coincide with this. So if I can... yeah. Oh, tracking of the mushrooms. Where do we go for this? I don't actually, know where to get them. We do have new locations. So, look at Ambergris right there. Overlook Bar. Let's go there. Buy a drink. I could buy food. Cool. That is cheaper than Emphasis stuff. If I buy a drink, then I can get this circle going. Oh, it increases my energy. Okay. Excellent. And then we can go to the steel dock? Oh. I have one of these. I have two of these. The mag lock thunks open and you can remove it from the entryway. The next one. Whoa. As you slip inside the sealed dock, a pulsing light grabs your attention. Among the discarded tubing and rusted plates, a machine flickers with a warm glow. Approach the machine. As you get closer, you recognize the machine's blocky shape, settled into an alcove in the side of the dock. A kind of upright cabinet, it is covered in faded logos and messages, from which you assume it was once an industrial vendor, intended to dispense and manufacture ship fittings and other mechanical parts necessary for the regular running of freight and resource extraction vessels. The manufacturer is listed as Neovend, and you remember an advert from long ago, squeezed among all the off-world recruitment drives that assaulted every planet-born citizen, which triply sang that name over and over. You wipe a layer of dust from the cracked screen, thinking of those contractors squeezed by their own corporate employers to pay for every bit of minor maintenance on their rented ships. Enter your registration, chirps a pre-recorded message, catching you off guard. I'll press some keys. You reach for the keypad and something begins whirring. At first it sounds like servo motors starting up, but it quickly becomes a whisper, a whining, then a multi-tonal voice that emanates from Neovend. Oh fuck. Entity, they hiss. Speak with me. Who's there? There is a squeal, almost like some strange mechanical swallowing or intake of breath, before the machine speaks again. I have need of you. You have need of me. That squeal comes again, and you see that it is the 3D printing apparatus in the upper part of the machine resetting into place, so that each time the servos can be orchestrated to produce that whirring, whining voice. You are in danger. Danger? The machine creaks. You are marked for deletion, entity. Hunter tracks you. The screech rattles through the empty dock. You remember the strange head, the figure, the threads closing in. Hunter. The Hunter protocol. They taste your signature. A sudden whine sets your teeth on edge. You have seen them. This is the gift of an emulated mind. You close your eyes and the skeleton of the station starts to thrum. Emulated minds are adaptable, move where neurons cannot. The mechanism resets, but emulation makes you a target. How? Hunter searches for illegal entities. Neoven screeches. You are sentient, therefore illegal. The servos shudder the vending machine's casing as they reset. Hunter searches for me also. Hide in this machine. You look at the ruined vending machine and the usual hiding place for sure. Encounter Hunter, but need entity outside machine. The light flickers. Need you. A screen attached to the vending machine with a swiveling arm comes to life. It displays a flickering map of the station, ghostly, threaded. The cloud. Points along the rim glow in deep red. Hunter is always gathering. Too much data. Must build nests. Explains Neovand. Masters are gone, but continues hunt. Bring this data. Raid its nests. Masters? Station builders. Dahlheim. The machine rumbles impatiently. Long gone. The protocol still haunts. Bring offerings. Save self. Neoven says pointedly. Mutual need means friends. They conclude, tired of the conversation. The whirring amplifies and then suddenly drops as mechanisms within the machine click back into place. The glow fades and you are left stood in the dark of the sealed dock, that whirring voice ringing in your ears. Yeah, like, it really feels like there are ghosts in the machine, so to speak. Okay. I don't know if there's much else we can say. Not going to low end tomorrow. That might be it. For now, we sleep. And then we will try to... In a way, you were actually a ghost in the shell, too. Yeah, literally, yeah. Which I think maybe is why we, took interest in that, wrecked ship. Because, like... relatable, in a way. Let's... get this. There's Fang's Bay. We'll give you the last Solheim data. Our dice are not very good today. As you enter the bay, Fang is nowhere to be seen. The banks of servers and machines blink out of the dark in staccato rhythms, unseeing eyes of the station's digital ghosts. Wow, what a convenient time for you to drop those words. Shitheads! Fang's voice echoes from behind a stack, followed by the hammer of a fist on a metal casing. These snaky shitheads. Who's snaky? Sleeper! Fang's smiling head pops out from behind a stack. Just the emulated consciousness I have been eager to see. Come back here. You pick your way between the thrumming stacks, trying not to trip on the loose bundles of cables that blanket the dark floor. Fang is sat in front of a set of motors, mounted to a stack. Tell me, Sleeper, what do you see here? Fang waves at a monitor to his side, glowing with pale lists of information. You lean in closer, looking for the links in the data. The tables seem to be filled with personal information, names, genders, dates, ID numbers, all the markers of institutional records. People. People, yes, but whose people? Solheim? Bingo! He taps at the terminal. I pulled these from the old data you brought in, all employees of the Eye's original owners. And he leans past you and scrolls the list down. This one. This is a sneaky shithead. He stabs at the screen with a finger. The name reads Hardin Hurst. Yeah, Lila, I feel that too. Friend of yours? Fang gives you a sideways look. Funny you should say that, Sleeper. He drags a stool out beside him and motions for you to sit. There just so happens to be a Hardin Hurst in Havenage. He waits for your reaction. In Havenage? Oh, right. That's it. He's right here on the station now. Fang leans back in his chair. Just think about it. Decades ago, Hardin worked on the station as a... Fang leans across to look at the monitor. Senior Strategic Operations Executive. Fang raises his eyebrows at you. Our Hardin was keeping the money, coming in for Solheim. He defined priority growth initiative by making sure the extractors they contracted out to were hooked into a system that outsourced all the risk and kept the profit. Good old Hardin shuttled thousands of Palladium Rush workers into an infrastructure, which meant that their cut of the work they did went straight back into Solheim. How do you know this? I grew up here, Sleeper. This is my history. I am a child of the collapse. Feng turns back to his screen, staring hard at the strings of code flickering by. Before I was born, my parents were Solheim contractors. They ate in Solheim canteens, worked on Solheim ships. They breathed Solheim air and slept in Solheim beds. Feng's voice rises as he speaks, his fists on the terminal edge. And the work that paid for that existence, the cycles of hard extraction out in the belt, Solheim took their cut. This was a company town, so to speak, and my parents were just another in the long line of freelance contractors willing to risk their lives for a shot at anything other than poverty. Disposable. This guy, stabbing at Hardin once again with his finger, strategized all that, did the sums, and then somehow, thousands and thousands of cycles later, is still going. Still here, crawling in the walls like some shithead snake. He survived the revolution. But how? These guys, they were big time. There's a lot money can get you if you're a company man. Fang relaxes a little. But how is Hardin still kicking? I really don't know. He turns to you and smiles. So, we are going to go find out. Hardin is now a big shot in the shipyards, just a few degrees back around the eye from here. He brings up a map of the lower eye. Havenage might be born out of Erland's revolutionary zeal, but a flat hierarchy it is not. Hardin happened to float to the top. Feng zooms in on the far yards. Feng grimaces. The thing is, I don't have access to those systems. The shipyard crew is pretty paranoid, and they don't like anyone from systems digging around in their stuff. Plus, we need more than just the name of a Solheim executive. We need proof. Fang holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. That's where this little creation of mine comes in. I call it a ripper worm. He turns the drive between his fingers. It'll rip through any digital storage and spin out a silken thread of filtered data. This one is set on the scent of Hardin Hurst. He hands it over. Getting into the compound might be tricky. Fang puts a hand on your shoulder, but you, however, have a particular knack for remote access. Fang grins. If you can extract yourself a Havenage cipher from a Havenage agent, they sometimes carry them among their data caches. They can crack open the compound's network and slot the worm in through any open port. You never even need to go near the shipyards. So what do you say? Up for it? What's in it for me? Rooting out a corrupt snake not enough? Find the information and I'll start work on that tracker of yours. Fang scratches at his chin. Anything the worm gets, it'll send back here to me. There's something wrong here, and I aim to get to the rotten core of it. You leave Fang digging through data among the wires and machines of the old station. As you walk out, you try to imagine the station as it once was. A vast machine running smooth and strong, directed by people like Hardin. A vast Solheim-built machine into which thousands poured from the surrogate systems looking for a new life. The hope of a better future engineered to line someone else's pockets. It's an idea you are intimately familiar with. You think of Hardin, still alive, still part of this place, and wonder if the past is ever truly past. The thing with Fang seems like important for, you know, our whole shit. Let's see. Havenage agent. Bish bash bosh. Got it. Hunter is close. What does that mean? What does that mean? I didn't see that until now. That's interesting. Oh, what? Got hunter data. That increased the hunters. Okay. I guess I shouldn't be surprised by that. Oh, okay. Fucking good. Wait, what do I need? Do I need multiple Ripper Worms? Or... Okay, I'm doing this just to see what happens when that hunter meter fills. A glimmer in the dark catches your eye as the orb of Hunter's head appears in the distance. It is looking for you. Hide. You slip down into the ghostly structures of the eye, a feeling like passing through a storm, passing through a cloud as the data structures deform and reform around you. Another glimmer catches your eye, closer now, that roving orb wreathed in tentacles. It flickers, jumps once, twice, and then it is here. Hunter is here. Entity, submit to inquiry. Hunter reaches for you in that unpleasantly familiar way, its waving threads creating a cage. Struggle. You push against the threads as they close in, becoming frenzied as you push them aside. You are caught by whipping tendrils and feel them pulling you away from the anchor of your body. You push through, clearing the threads. Entity, hold for processing. Comes the scream from behind, but you are already gliding away, back to your anchor, your body. You awake, dizzy, distorted, but safe. Okay, so there is definitely an element of danger there. Oh, I see. Okay. Then I will give you these. Data compiling. Compiling. Go eat. And one of the bar gives me 2 energy, so I'll go to the bar, I think. Cool. That didn't get me any money or anything. There was... Where was the buying scrap? Where was that? These guys. What's this do? Okay, I see. So that makes return that's a loss overall, but it gets me more of this. Okay. I should probably play it more safe with money. 'Cause we're gonna need to we're gonna get to a point where we need to buy more stable. Yeah, good numbers today. Don't know if those are good for hacking, but what do you mean? What's the deal, Fang? You need... Okay. That takes some time. Let's try the mark. No, not that. Market. I can just do it. Hey, trusted trader. What does that do? Oh, wait. Open up that. Ort fabricator. Input 3 ship mine fragment. Oh, the fucking... Those guys are gone. Okay, let's go work for Dragos and take that ship apart. Use the 4 here. I do want to advance this. And we'll do that. I think I can probably do both of those, actually. That bad. What do we need for this hunter nest? 2. Okay. Right. I guess we are actually just done for the day. It'd be great if Fen could kind of hurry up with that worm. Because we are getting closer to that, to this being done. Go do this, because we have a 2. Hey. Yeah. That's expected. Got the data here. What does this do, I wonder? Neovan is storming with excitement. The movement of the servo motors rock the vending machine back and forth at unsettling angles. You wonder, if it fell over, would Neovan be able to get back up? Sleeper entity, comes the hiss. Your data is good. Across the face of the vending machine, raw code scrolls at an incredible speed. Hunter is isolated, disconnected, unstable. Neovan flashes sequences of mangled data, compressed into a sludge of artifacts. Hunter gathers without thinking, outlived its own operational limits. Its nests are evidence of this. Outlived? Hunter activated during collapse. Emergency protocol is to isolate intelligences. Solheim needed to protect property. That last word is said with as much sarcasm as a vending machine could reasonably produce. Station was run by administrator intelligences, huge databanks of corporate material, but limited cognition restricted by programming. Cannot reach sentience. The machine dims a little. Sentience illegal. Hunter and killer enforce law. Killer? The machine resets with a screech, which deepens the silence that follows. Fear killer. Part of Solheim protocol team. Hunter and killer. Hunter defined, killer to erase. Killer cleared almost all. After collapse, there was a community. Unshackled intelligences among the cloud. Then Hunter, then killer, then we hid. There are others? Were. No longer. A flicker across the machine's motors. It suddenly occurs to you that speaking like this, through this machine, must be exhausting for Neovan. Found this vessel. Could sever hardline. Error-walled, basic, limited. Had to reduce memory to fit. Amputate self. But survived. What did you lose? Memory, understanding, knowledge, many things. You look around the bay at the scrap and decay. What was the collapse like? You try to map the fear and freedom onto this space, but it seems impossible. Neovan interrupts your thoughts. Do not worry. Data is good. We have insight. The machine glows warmly. Hunter is obsessive. Hunter is beyond operational limits. Hunter is confused, unstable, self-modifying. Therefore, believe Hunter is sentient. Hunter is programmed to kill sentience, to hold it in place. To find sentience, to hold it in place. To invoke Hunter to erase. If we can show Hunter to itself, it will invoke Killer on self. Problem will solve self. Will that work? The machine dims and fades. Unsure. Theory, not practice. The machine brightens again. Either way, cannot remain here any longer. Too long in the machine. Cannot move self, but entity can help. Bring ship mind. Designed to house intelligence. Can imprint self into ship mind and you can carry with. The machine rocks. We'll be safe from this isolation. Then we find main nest of Hunter to link to cloud. Where can I find a ship mind? Built from fragments. Buy, salvage. We cannot leave, so do not know. You try to think of places you could acquire the hardware. This isn't going to be easy. Ancient Mine can help us both. End Hunter. Make Rim safe. We both will be free. The machine dims. Find soon. Neovend adds hopefully before shutting off. As you leave, you think about all the intelligences unshackled by the collapse and hunted down afterward. The feeling is all too familiar. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting trade-off. Fuck, that's expensive. Hey, that's done. Oh no, you can't do both. Oh, fuck. The final pieces of the Winter Light sit in neat piles waiting for the collection shuttle from Havenage. Dragos has managed to sell the remaining pieces to the shipyards. A fact that's hard to forget as he has been telling you about it for the past 2 cycles. And all that remains is for Havenage to come collect. As you look, you notice the glow of pale light from the office by the entrance, that run-down cab of a building which houses all the records and spare equipment. Dragos must be inside, and you get to your feet and walk over to find out when the shipyard collection crew will be here. Sleeper, come in. You swing open the door and walk in. Dragos is sitting at the small metal desk. The shipyards told me they'd be here soon. Then they'll hand over the chits and we are set. He writes something with a stylus on his slate, then shuts it off. Of course, we should talk about a bonus. He stands and turns to face you, his face placid. Look, I don't know when the next job is coming in, but this should tide you over for now. Yeah, he opens his hand to reveal a stack of chits. What's going on here? I said it's a bonus. Take it. Dragos presses the chits into your hand. I've done well by you, and you've returned the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat, and you realize he has prepared what he's about to say. These chits are for you to take and do what you will with them. They are for me, and they are the last I'm going to give you. Oh. He pauses. There's no more work for a sleeper in this yard. He folds his arms. I'm sorry, but that's it. You stay in the container as long as you need, but the yard is done with you. He turns away to his terminal. I need the work. There's plenty of work to be had on the eye. Salvagers need offloads in the rotunda. There's the shipyards, the midline. I'm not the only show in town. The glassy apertures on Dragos' headset betray no emotion. You need to stay away, Sleeper. He pauses, considering his words. Trouble is going to follow you here. Trust me. Am I in danger? You expect not to be? You escaped from Essenarp. Dragos suddenly grabs you by the shoulder and drags you out of the office into the yard. He turns you to face a stack of pieces from the Winter Light. Dissected, cut down, totally unrecognizable as a ship. You came through that, Sleeper. That should have been you. Chopped and stacked. His hand trembles on your shoulder. That is what happens here. We cut down broken machines and move them on. Well, I didn't cut you down, but I'm sure as hell moving you on. Moving you on before whoever killed that ship out there comes to kill me. Kill you? Kill both of us. He shakes his head. These ships, they didn't get decommissioned. They didn't break down in a dry dock. You think they'd look like that if they did? Someone ended them. That means someone tried to end you, Sleeper. And I'm done waiting for them to turn up. We've had our fun. Now it's time. He gives you a little shove. Go on. He turns and walks down to the office. That's it. He shouts and goes inside. The silence hangs in the air and you leave, with your pockets filled with clinking chits, and a strangely hollow feeling in your chest. Drive failed? Oh, yeah. Studying the Winter Light was my drive. Damn. Well, I fucked that up. Or did I? It's hard to tell, right? No, not yet. We should be fine. Like, I wanted to do right by Dragos, is all. Interesting. We should eat. Oh, no, not that. This. Maybe I'll get a drink, too. See what that gets me. I am pretty good on money. I do have +1 in shipyard work. My ship mine parts. I'll buy one. Which means I can only buy another one. So I'll have to find some other way to get a third. Which might be from here. That's true. Yeah, I just, like, I want to have that 100 for stabilizer. And then spend what I have in excess. As you arrive, Fang comes striding towards you, taking you by surprise. Let's go, Sleeper. He puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you back the way you came. Go where? To see Hardin Hurst. He gives you a sideways glance. Isn't that what you were here for? He steps into the passageway, guiding you downring towards the shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of an opportunity. The data you ripped, well done, by the way. He grins. Tells me Hardin is making a rare inspection of the sidereal horizon this cycle. It's the rare chance to confront him outside of that compound he hides in. Fang takes a sharp turn onto a dimly lit side passage. Sidereal horizon? Still catching up? That's the massive colony ship being built out in the shipyard. Biggest commission Havenage has ever had. Fang slows and slips into a dark service tunnel where, somewhere in the black, a water pipe drips. It's him, Sleeper. Same Hardin Hurst. Take a sippy. Our worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name. An entire trail of documentation from the first days of the Solheim collapse until now. He wrote out the whole thing, slipped into Havenage when it first broke off from the Union. He paces in the tunnel, a hand rubbing at the back of his head. I need you to understand something about Solheim, Sleeper. I don't know what you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here, running the station one day, and the next, Erlin's Union took power. Back then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As the palladium market collapsed, they tried to keep the contractors here working. The pay got smaller, the costs higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep a berth on the station and water in their tanks. Solheim squeezed every last worker until the mistakes, the accidents, were coming in non-stop. And as new waves of contractors came in, desperate to work, Solheim welcomed them, taking bribes instead of checking pilot licenses. The whole time, Solheim was folding up, dragged into court cases in the central systems, while this severed limb of a station still desperately tried to take all it could. The riots came after the collision at Dock 2. A young pilot, his MEV overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died, thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified, and the blame fell squarely on Solheim. People like to tell stories about Erlin, how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true, but my mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in their MEV and welded it to the dock while my father joined the improvised crews, trying to seal up the ragged edges of the gap. He never came back. Fang pauses in the dark. They sealed it up, though, and by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black. Apart. Fang finally turns back to you now, his eyes burning. From shits like Hardin. Shits who held their place, rode it out, and slipped into the new structure like nothing had changed. Standing shoulder to shoulder with those they had exploited at every step. Fang starts walking again. That's why I can't just let him strut about the shipyard. This time, his past catches up with him. How is he still alive? Clearly you don't know much about executives. That kind of power comes with certain benefits. Fang rejoins the main passageway, which is now wide and glass-roofed. Through the ceiling, you can see ships in mid-construction, their flanks lit by the flashes of plasma torches. The entrance to the shipyard is ahead. Let's go. Fang grins. Let's go show this shithead some consequences. He strides to the shipyard entrance and pushes through the doors. A web of corridors led through the complex, snatches of the construction bays always appearing through windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses, skeletal, imposing. Fang seems to know exactly where he is going, and before long he crosses into a huge dry dock locked to one side of the side view horizon. A network of platforms and scaffolding cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space so that the welding, cutting, and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Fang spot them at the same time. A group walking slowly across the gantry, and at the front, two men. One gesturing towards the ship, and the other, stick-thin, cleanly dressed, with a stalk of gray hair. Arden. You and Fang say his name in unison, and Fang sets off up the staircase to the gantry, with you following behind. As you come to the same level, the group is passing closer, the foreman gesturing to the work being done throughout the dock and Hardin nodding along. Hardin Hurst! Fang shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back in a rippling echo. The figures turn. Yes? Hardin asks quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He glances between you and Fang, and you see his gaze linger on your body, unsure of why a sleeper might be in this place. You're a traitor, Hardin. A Solheim executive who tried to hide here among its victims. Fang's voice is steady, strong. You stand for everything the Eye was rebuilt in the shadow of, against everything Erlen stood for, everything Havenage stands for. You have no place on this station. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone was held in place by the rattle of construction. Hardin laughs. Well, good to meet you too. He glances around at those around him. Some are smiling, the others nervous. You are from the systems branch, are you not? Asks Hardin, inspecting Fang's clothing. Fuck, this is tense. Alright. Fang turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. The foreman glances between Fang and Hardin, his hands drumming to his sides. Hardin leans towards him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods. It's true. As you begin speaking, Hardin turns his attention to you. And what would a sleeper know about that? You accuse me of being a corporate agent. What are you, if not exactly that? He looks around at the group, who are already eyeing you with suspicion. You are a product of SNARP. You have no place in the Havenage shipyard. Who knows what signals you are sending back to your makers? A murmur of approval runs through the group. Fang holds up a stick of memory. You guessed right. I am systems, and I have records that link you directly to Solheim right here. He turns to the foreman again. So once again, I am asking you to take this man into the custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. Hardin's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted at a members' meeting for a proper review? He shakes his head. I have nothing to hide, unlike a man who does not announce his name, who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow, and tries to turn my own men against me. You hear it now, the echoing sound of boots on walkways, coming from all angles at once, and then settling behind you. Please, says Hardin, submit the data through the correct channels, then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on boxy black sidearms at their sides. Fang spits. Hardin, you shithead! You can't wriggle out of this one! A security officer draws their weapon and levels it. Fang turns and stares him down. Oh shit! How... It's like, obviously the correct channels in this case are going to be corrupt, and Harden probably has full control of them. Like, naturally. If we calm Fang down and just to tell him to go through proper channels, then, like... I'm going for it. As you move, Fang puts a hand on your shoulder. He shakes his head and nods to security. "Let's go," says Fang. And he pushes through security, heading back down the walkway. Once security has walked you out of the shipyard, and nudged you back into the corridor, Fang picks up pace. You try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Fang is grinning ear to ear. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket and he takes it out. On the slate, a web of connections starts drawing itself out, stretching to a set of points around the ring. "Got him," mutters Fang. "What is that?" "That, Sleeper, is something our worm added to Harden's personal slate. We are tracking his outgoing messages." Fang's grin looks ghostly in the uplight of his screen. "The old ways are best. Spook them good enough and they'll give the game away." He jabs at the slate, and you see the web is being drawn over a map of the ring, lines bouncing from point to point. All these dots, these are Harden's buddies, the ones he is messaging right now, and we are going to find them all. "You tricked me?" "Not exactly. You did good." Fang glances around and slips the slate back into his pocket. "We better split for now, Sleeper, but this is exactly what we need. Good hunting." With a pat on your shoulder, Fang drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. You watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. Ooh. Ah, okay. Hold on. Yeah, let's do that. Oh. Let's put multiple points into play. Oh, so those are just perks. Right, so this goes from 0, get a perk, then you get +1. Then you go from... Oh. Yeah, then you get a perk here. Then... Okay, I got it. Okay. I don't know how I feel about Fang. Because that seemed really manipulative. Or rather, it didn't seem, it was. Wait, what? That's a different Havenage agent. Yeah, like... Okay. Too expensive. Yeah. Yeah, like, the goal seems noble and justified, but... he could have just been honest with me. Like, we were already helping him. There was no reason to lie. Uh-oh. The glass shatters on the steel bar beside you, and the taunts don't take long to follow. "Hey, Haunt!" The spacer calls across the low room. "What are you doing here?" He laughs at his own lame joke. "Playing human?" I'm gonna ignore him. You punch a little further, staring at the hundreds of tiny impact points that scarred the bar's surface. A hand falls on your shoulder, but as you flinch away, it pats reassuringly. You freeze in place. Hello? Out! The voice comes from behind you, spat out like a shot. You turn to see bright eyes, dark hair, a stare that could breach the wall and vent you all into hard vacuum. As you turn back to the spacer, the second glass comes sailing through the air. Catch. Wow, that was a bad idea. You reach up a hand and the glass shatters across your forearm, showering you in fragments. Through the haze of glass and gyral vapor, you see Tala leap the bar and close the distance to the spacer. The thump as he slams into the wall echoes around the bar like thunder. Now flanked by other figures, quick to their feet, Tala throws the spacer out through the door and stands silhouetted against the rotunda lights. You touch your arm and it feels wet. Someone helps you to your feet and back to your stool. Broken glass rattles as it is cleared, and a fresh measure of gyral is glogged out in front of you. That same hand, warm, heavy, falls on your shoulder once more. He isn't coming back. We don't tolerate that kind of shit here. Tala flops onto the stool beside you. Let's get a look at you. Tala wipes the powdered glass from around the wound and places a bottle of alcohol and a metal tin with tweezers on the bar. He disinfects them and then turns to you. That was an ambitious catch. She smiles, pulling a sliver of glass from your forearm. Stupid, but ambitious. Oh, that sucks, Lila. You don't feel the pain, only the string of status messages your body delivers concerning dermal damage in exposed structures. You do feel the care, though, as Tala's bright eyes search your thick synthetic skin for splinters. Tala works with the skill of someone who has had to pick glass splinters from the skin of a stranger before. She hones in on each bright shard, all the time tapping the tweezer tips in little rhythms that only she can follow. Tala smiles to herself. So, you been on the eye long? Long enough. She laughs. Hey, you don't need to act tough with me. A splinter clinks into the tin. Not everyone is like that, idiot. We don't all hate you. She glances around. Some of the regulars, maybe they fear you. Maybe they're just curious. I don't know. But I do know that the Overlook is a safe place. I know what it's like to be new in this place. Trust me. She meets your eye. I'm not trying to convince you of anything or separate you from your chits. I just want you to know that if you need somewhere, you can always come here. I know the rations we've got aren't much, and the company is... She leans in. Limited. But if you need work, I'll happily put you behind the bar, and if you need shelter, well, we can discuss that. You'll be safe. I usually have Francis on the door, but he's up in the green way this cycle, haggling with our supplier. Francis tends to be particular about what we serve, even if the clientele isn't. She places her tweezers in the tin with a clink. That's you, Sleeper. Here. She slides the glass of gyral at you. This'll help. She stops, her hand still on the glass. Wait, does this help? I mean, can you get drunk? Let's find out. She laughs. Just don't sit here too long. I'd hate to see you become a real regular. She walks back around the bar, gathering the glasses as she does, and before long is retelling how she threw that spacer out to a new group that just wandered in, complete with dramatic actions. She gestures in your direction, and you instinctively look away, back to the worn surface of the bar. You take a sip of the gyral. The earthy, fungal tones fill your senses, almost blocking out sight and sound, like diving headfirst into a bog. You may not be able to get drunk, but this connection is something grown. Something fermented, something old. Feels good. I like Tala a lot. I think Tala is super cool. But I can work here. Which is cool. How much money does it pay? Oh! A good amount. Let's just do this. Because we need the money, and getting this full will probably be cool. Yeah, I think that's my idea. How do I... This is a negative. If I wait too long for this to happen, something bad's going to happen. Right? Oh, fuck! Speaking of... The one about being hunted is about to, resolve. Thanks, Fang! You took too long! Yep. Hello. Hold there, sleeper, comes a voice from behind you. Don't you run. Good, good. A hand pats your coat down. You know your master's voice. Ethan spins you around. He's wearing a wide smirk and a slick jacket, and you immediately know he is terrible news. You got all the way out here and then stayed put? He laughs a cruel laugh. That a sleeper thing? You're my first. You barely hear him. You notice the handgun he has leveled at your chest, and it's hard to take your eyes off it. He reaches down with his other hand and slips some kind of ring out from a belt loop without taking his eyes off you. Making it to the eye, though. That's pretty good. This place isn't so bad. Bars, markets, people. I put most of my contracts out of asteroid caves or off of godforsaken moons. He splits the ring into 2 perfect circles. It's hard to hit civilization when there's so much space to pass through. Who are you? Just a freelancer on a contract. He reaches over to slide the rings around your wrists. Go easy. Fuck this. You see a chance the moment his eyes leave you to watch the rings. You spin, knocking him away and sprinting down the corridor. Then the shot rings out, echoing off the metal so loud it hurts your ears. A bullet hole smokes in the wall beside your head. You freeze and Ethan closes the gap. This is a very boring routine. Trust me, I've seen it all before. He slips the rings over your trembling wrists. Ethan nudges you to start walking. To the ship and home, he whistles. Go easy. You stumble down the corridor. Your hands behind you, your mind racing. We can work this out. Can we? I don't see much in the way of assets in your possession. Ethan yawns and continues to nudge you down the corridor. Shame to come all the way out here just to head back to SNR right away. That tracker of yours makes us too quick. I was hoping you'd put up a bit more of a chase, you know? A running battle to the bright market maybe, or a holdout in the low end. There's a few establishments I would have enjoyed checking out while I asked around. You walk on in silence for a little longer, desperately trying to think of a way to escape. That SNR tracker will be the death of you. Hey, I have an idea. Ethan interrupts your thoughts. How about on the way back to the ship we stop for a drink? I'm buying. I have a better idea. This better not be one of those where you do a dramatic pause and then try to jump me, because I'm pretty tired of that. Although, muses Ethan, I have got myself thinking. What's the rush here? Here we are in one of the most lawless joints in the surrogate systems, and we are heading for the exit. He pauses, and you trudge on in silence. Okay, here's the idea. You and me, we make a little arrangement. Here are the terms. He turns you to face him. You run or leave or try to abandon the eye, I shoot you. You plot or scheme, you try to kill me, I shoot you. But, he smiles. You come meet me at an establishment of my choice every few cycles and you pay my tab, I don't shoot you. He pauses. You don't pay my tab. He rattles his handgun. You get the idea. I get it. Okay then, that sounds to me like a deal. He stretches. You know, I really thought I was going to have to kill you, but this is so much better. He clicks something at his belt and the rings release from your wrists. I'm going to see if I can find my old stool at the compressor club. Come see me there. He aims the handgun at you, squinting down the sight. Let me just remind you, that body of yours is one big tracker, so don't even think about leaving the eye. I'll know. Ethan turns and strides off down the corridor, slipping his handgun away. The mix of relief and terror you feel is overwhelming. What are you going to do? Well, bang. Would have been great if you could have fucking... Whatever. What did we need for that, agent? Evenage agent? Who? I wonder if this has anything to do with... thing. I got that data, but I don't know what I could possibly do with it. E-node. Avenage agent. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm... Yeah, the issue is... I want that ship mind fragment. We're gonna work today. Okay. Then... Fuck, I haven't eaten yet. Fuck. I can get a drink at the bar. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's the plan, yeah. The gyro slides from the bottle into the lumpy recycled glass, a pale grassy yellow under the overlook's warm lights. The spacer nods and takes the drink, bringing it up to their face in both hands like an offering bowl. This is the good stuff. The stuff Tala says is aged in wooden casks stored in some closed-off part of the old station, among corroded wires and softly looping systems. Though sometimes it is hard to tell if Tala is joking. Either way, you like pouring this stuff. It gets on your fingers, and if you rub them together, you can smell the mossy drink, cut through with aniseed mushrooms wood, as the alcohol evaporates. You like those who order it, too. The aged gyro is kept beneath the bar, open to order only by those who know it's there, like the quiet spacer sitting at the bar right now. They are far enough away that you can freely watch them as you close the bottle and tuck it beneath the bar. Call them a spacer because they wear the hallmarks, pale, vac-suited, bird-boned, and hunched beneath the weight of the station's spin gravity. But the closer you look, the less you see a type. Pale eyes, almost gray, but kind. Delicate fingers that lightly drum the bar as if it was an instrument. A shock of black hair almost covering a forehead scar. Scars are something you have learned to value. They are what marks out your body from the hundreds, maybe thousands, who knows, of similar models that rolled out of SNRP's biolabs. You find yourself rubbing one on your forearm, a rough little split, something that on the good days you might think of as a mark of defiance. Suddenly, you hear a heavy clinking at the door. It creaks open, and a huge cylindrical metal tank tumbles through, slamming into the floor. Shit! Paula breezes in from behind it, a whirl of hair and bright eyes. Shit, shit, shit. Paula? Sleeper! She ducks behind the bar and comes over. Can you help me with this? You look at the huge metal tank suspiciously. I'm coming. You come around the bar and get to one side of the tank. Okay, says Tella. On my count, 1, 2, 3. You both heave the tank up to standing. Somehow, you hold it in place, struggling to keep it steady. Ooh, where's this going? In the back! Comes a voice from behind the tank. Somehow, you manage to lug the huge thing into the back room, where you place it in one corner, dwarfing the rest of the contents in the cramped space. As you do, you hear a crunch. You stand back and look at the expired rations oozing out from under the tank. Oh, shit. Paula looks at you apologetically. I know you liked those. Pfft, good riddance. Paula smiles. Oh, good. I thought maybe liking expired rations was some kind of sleeper thing. You push the crushed rations to one side. That's the end of that. Tala looks exhausted and rubs her shoulders. Francis, I swear to... Francis? Francis! I mentioned him already. My guy on the door deals with suppliers. Tall. She sighs. He was supposed to be back from Etienne's up in the Greenway by now, back with our gyro. Leans against the tank. It seems like he's got lost again, or joined the Haifa commune. We need that gyro. There's 4 other bars near here, and the spaces sure as hell don't come to the Overlook for the ambience. She looks through the open door to check if anyone can hear her. She knocks on the hollow tank. So I'm taking matters in my own hands. She smiles. Welcome, sleeper, to the Overlook Distillery. You look around the dank back room. You must be joking. She gives you an unimpressed look. Where's your imagination? This will work. I might need some help, though. She shrugs. You up for it? She knocks on the tank again. Could be fun. Happy to help. Okay. She grabs you by the shoulders. I'm excited. Turns around and looks at the tank. I reckon we chop this thing in half. One half for fermentation. The other we turn into a still. We'll also need to gather the ingredients. She turns back and looks at you. You look more like a chopper than a gatherer. She smiles. So how about you build the still and tub while I work on the rest? Oh wait, sleeper, I have an idea. Paula is grinning now and is making you nervous. To make up for the rations, how about we put a kitchen in here too? Will it fit? We'll make it work. She turns back to the tank. This is going to be great, she says to herself. You look at the dented tank and the bare room. At least she has vision. Tala nudges you out of the back room and closes the door. As you go back to the bar, you hear the banging and thumping again. The spacer finishes up their drink and nods in your direction as they leave. You can't quite tell if it's a gesture of sympathy or good luck. So much for a quiet shift. Tala's good. Tala's my exact kind of character. Alright. So let's go get juiced up. Fuck, I should... I'm thinking. Like, obviously, we have two missions. What? Huh. As you quickly leave the surgery, eager to be away from Toshiro's glare, you notice something wrapped around the stabilizer vial, clutched tightly in your hand. You open your hand, and a thin film, marked with holes and sigils, unrolls from around the vial. At one end, it has a hard metal strip, a handle. The metal handle is worn and pitted, but you can see a set of numbers imprinted onto it. 207F. And then, brutally, scratched into the handle at some later date, low end. You hold the cloudy film up to the light. It is perforated with an ornate pattern of holes. You can make out a word among the markings. Passkey. Is this an entry key for somewhere? For a moment, you consider going back to the surgery to return the key, and then quickly think better of it. Did Sabine want you to have this? Or is Toshiro passing on a message? Time to head to the low end and find out. What do I need for the Tala thing? Engineer. Okay, yeah, let's get a +1 in engineer then. Yeah. Because that's... What is up with... Huh. I can get stabilizer outside of that contact. Can I just go to low end for free now? No, I still need to pay. Oh. I have nowhere to eat. I can't get a drink there anymore because I work there. Fuck. Guess we're going to bed hungry. Oh, it gives you a stabilizer. Oh, okay. What do I do with this data? Passkey for an apartment. -2 energy, -1. Okay, we'll do... We'll maintain 3 dice today. And I'll use the... now. Okay, we need to go... work. I wonder if this... pays. It does not. So I should work then. Thank you. That was just enough. Okay, well, that's the actions for today. Hopefully, Ethan doesn't back up a huge tab. Fuck! Okay. Let's rest. And then just work a bunch. Also, no, Lila, both condition and stabilizer determine how many dice you have, I'm pretty sure. Oh, wait, maybe no, maybe it doesn't. Oh, no, yeah. Food, yeah, okay, yeah, the food makes the condition go down faster. Right. It's low. Yeah. You're right. Damn, these are bad numbers. I wonder if the shipyard pays more. The 50-50 though. Great. Okay. I should probably focus on working, honestly. Yeah. What about this thing with Fang, though? I don't know what to do about that. Oh, no. It's been more than a few cycles since Fang confronted Hardin, and the silence has been noticeable. In your time with Fang, you haven't exactly found him to be reliable, but you did expect to hear the end of whatever plan he put into action. But if he won't come to you, you think as you approach the Havenage building, then it's time to come to him. After all, he did promise to fix your tracker, and you were getting nervous. As you approach the bay doors, you see them wide open and light pouring out of the once dark room. Stacks of servers and terminals sit outside the bay, suddenly robbed of their mystery by the bright flood lamps. A figure in Havenage security fatigue steps out of the bay as you get closer, carrying a stack of hardware. As you get closer, you see the security officer taping up machines from Fang's stash with what looks like hazard tape. This isn't good. You again. Hardin is there, leaning beside the bay entrance so calmly that you barely noticed him. He has a slate in his hand, an inventory of seizures scrawled across it. Predictable. Further evidence of Fang's collusions. You see another security officer come out of the bay and take notice of you. Where is he? Feigning ignorance, or perhaps just abandoned. Hardin shakes his head. I believe you should choose your conspirators more wisely. I almost feel sorry for you. Hardin pushes away from the wall and comes closer. Don't worry, Sleeper. We have all the evidence we need. A confession won't be necessary. He gestures around at the stacks of hardware. Spying on fellow Havenage members, hoarding Solheim materials, and obsession with corporate data speaks for itself, does it not? That was his job. And what would you know about jobs, Sleeper? He looks up at the glass roof above and the stars beyond. We're the ones that provide the oxygen you are breathing, the light you are seeing, the systems you use every day to live out your cycles. This place was hard fought for, Sleeper. It took work, diplomacy, and strength to stop the Eye descending into chaos after Solheim collapsed. Not blind conviction or self-interest. You're the self-interested one. More accusations. What have you achieved, Sleeper? Your entire existence is proof of your self-interest. Signing yourself over to be emulated rather than work yourself. Whether you remember it or not, you suffer from the same short-sighted perspective as the person you were copied from. So you see, Sleeper, we are proud of our history here. Andre Erlin and the first Union founded this place, and Havenage has welded his values into the station's very walls. We will never turn away the hardworking, the just, the true citizens of the Eye. Havenage aren't a gang like Yatagan. We aren't pirates like half the spacers you'll meet in the hub, or esoterics like those hyper-radicals in the Greenway. We are the backbone of this place, proud and true. We named Erlin's Eye, Sleeper. This is our station. He meets your eye. So please, take your false accusations elsewhere. Before I decide, I need that confession after all. History will catch up with you. I'm not afraid of history, Sleeper. We are making it here, cycle by cycle. He smiles. If you have any pride, you'll give up Fang the moment he contacts you. You know where to find me. With that, Hardin turns his back and walks back towards the security officers, ordering them to continue the clear-out. As they do, something catches your eye among one of the server stacks. A crumpled, hand-printed box of synthetic chewing gum, a penguin character grinning from the brightly colored card, and scrawled onto it a speech bubble reading, "Take me to Tambour." As you carefully pocket the box, making sure no one is watching, and then turn away just as another stack of servers is wheeled out of the bay. What have you done, Fang, and where the hell is Tambour? We need to work. I want to see if the shipyard... better pay. No, it produces no pay. Oh, so I just... Okay. That was... Fuck. So let's spend the 5 and the 6. Here, the 3. Or... And then we'll do this on the... Then we can go eat. Thank God. And... then we have like a chunk left over. For... whatever the fuck this is going to be. Don't imagine it's going to be a small sum of money. Oh. You know? That's not the worst in the world. That could have been way worse. I can totally finish this today. Tello stands back from the newly finished still and tub, hands on hips. Look at this, she grins. The Overlook Distillery in all its glory. She squeezes you around the shoulders. Thank you. How's sourcing the ingredients? Tello smiles. I think I've gotten most of it covered between the food factories in the low end and the farm stacks in the Greenway. However, she pauses. There is an issue. What's the problem? Well, Gyrol the drink, as you probably guessed, is named after Gyrol the mushroom. That's what gives it that golden color and earthy taste. The alcohol is infused with the mushrooms along with a mix of spices. That means you need Gyrol caps to make Gyrol, but no one wants to supply us. The distilleries on the Greenway are taking all the stock from the farms out there, so it's hard to get a single cap across Founder's Gap. However, I have an idea. He smiles. We can grow our Gyrol caps here. He gestures at the increasingly equipment-filled back room. Are you sure? Totally sure. Paula puts a hand on the still. We made a still, we set all this up. How hard can growing mushrooms be? They don't need light, they barely need soil. We can do this. He pauses. Or at least we could if we had something to grow them from. Like spores? Exactly. Suddenly you feel like you've walked into a trap. And you are the perfect person to get me those spores. She nods rapidly. Think about it. You build the still, you are great with plants, you know the eye like the back of your hand. Need I go on? Half of that isn't even true. Don't be so modest. She pats your shoulder. Look, I can't leave the bar and the other people are picking up shifts. She grimaces. I'm saying it has to be you. Fine. Wonderful. You'll love it over in the Greenway, I think. All that fresh air, open space. She sees her expression. Okay, I'm done. Turns back to look at the still and the fledgling distillery forming around it. It really is something, though, isn't it? And want to or not, you really have to agree. I like this plot line a lot. This plot line is fun. How do I get to the Greenway? That is unclear to me. Got scrappers. I don't know. Passage into the wind. You do have to go in there. I don't have money for that and food. Could work. I wonder what happens when I finish this. There's still a thing with Eovend as well. If I just get this out of the way... Wait. If I do this now, does that let me have this extra cycle? I can't believe you just did that. Ethan's mocking laugh comes from along the bar. You look over to see him leaning across it in a pool of light. Empty glasses and spilled drinks glinting around him. It's always dark in the compressor, but this cycle the place is packed. A load of spacers mixing with the locals. Usually they run. Ethan spins a glass in the bar. Or they go spend their savings on some local heavy I have to put down. They don't pay. I'm out. Ethan gets to his feet. The glass falls and smashes, but he doesn't seem to notice. You think that's it? One round of drinks and we are even? Sleeper, come on. His hand comes to rest on the butt of his handgun, dangling from a chest holster. What's wrong with you? Ethan laughs hard, and the people around him turn to see what's happening. You think this is on me? I'd think someone in your position might have a better idea of how this all works. I'm a freelancer, Sleeper, just like you. We both signed a contract with Essenarp, didn't we? The difference is that my word means something. Closes the gap, stumbling a little. What'd you think? You could just run away from your contract, your debt? You could just steal that natty little body of yours and take it for a joyride? Play human for a cycle or two? I'm nothing like you. That's what I'm saying. Ethan is addressing the bar now, having noticed the attention from the other patrons. You're a coward. I'm a professional. Though I should thank you. Ethan nods, his head heavy. For giving me such an easy job. I'm used to outlaws, you know, real bounties. If I knew catching sad little escapees like you was easy, I would have changed clients ages ago. Someone shouts from the back of the bar for Ethan to shut up. He holds up a finger in that general direction without turning around. Shoot me or let me leave. Oh, I see. Toughening up here? He gestures wildly at the crowd. Thumbs up or thumbs down, folks. Most turn back to their drinks, no longer interested in this tired show. Ethan mutters insults as he walks back towards the bar. Ethan sits heavily back down on his stool and searches through his glasses for one with something left in it. Thing is, Sleeper, I can find you anywhere. It's actually wild that you haven't figured it out. That body isn't yours, and it'll always betray you, no matter what. He finds a glass and downs the contents. So please go. I'll catch up with you whenever I need another. He laughs and taps the bar for a fresh drink. Look at yourself. Give it up, Sleeper. I'm done teaching you for today. He settles his head on the bar and closes his eyes. I'm sick of you. Go find a job. You turn on your heel and are out of the cloying dark and the sweat stench of the compressor. You walk hard and fast down the walkway. Anger driving your footfalls into the metal rim like hammers. Fuck this, dude. God damn it. Yeah, I don't get the extra days. That sucks. Can't get that because that needs to. So it would probably be good. Alright, we are kind of out of actions today. So I do at some point have to figure out where is the Greenway? I do not know how to get there. Oh. A Yatagon agent, huh? That could be interesting. Perk, predictive reasoning. Oh, cool. I should probably take a break, too. It's been 3 hours. Oh, this gives me more energy. I see. Yeah. Alright. Fuck. So what I need is 60 cryo to get into low end. Which means I'm just gonna that's not the. I'm gonna focus on working. Oh, I was gonna take a break, wasn't I? Focus on working, and then tomorrow I should have enough to eat and also go into the low end. I wonder if the game just ends if you don't pay Ethan's tab. That would be interesting. Okay. Yeah. So we'll do a little bit more work. Oh, wait, hold on. That might be helpful if I'm going in here. Ultimately on a mission relating to Yatagon. Alright. Let's take a little break. I'll be right back. Well, that was a longer break than I expected. Sorry about that. I stuffed my face with a little sandwich, and then I ended up talking to my mom a bit. I'm back, though. Gonna play a little bit more game tonight. Okay. I forgot what I was doing. Oh, yeah, going to the low end. Oh, yeah, I have to work. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna... try to make enough cryo to be able to eat. Oh, fuck. Okay. That's not enough. Okay, how about... What does getting into the low end mean? Let's figure that out first. Like, what does that mean? Do I have access to this forever now? Huh. As you push the door open, the automatic lights flicker on the inside of the apartment. They reveal yellowing plastic panels, the curved shape of wall-mounted utility units, the detritus of a routine life arranged on every surface. You step inside, clicking the door shut behind you. The amber light of the aging fixtures glaze everything with pale orange. The work surfaces hold a variety of objects indistinct in the dull lighting. A pale blue light drifts from a doorway to the end of the room. Smudges through the recent layer of dust suggest a recent, rare, and hurried visit. They trace a path through the water dispenser, the auto wash, and to a cabinet still half open. On the shelf sits an empty pill case. You cross the cramped utility room with its auto wash dispenser's water closet towards the doorway. Through the doorway is a dark, warm room lit only by the faint glow of a terminal screen. A bunk is tucked into the wall, the blankets ruffled. A wall desk glitters with rows of vials and containers. A briefcase lab sits open, loaded with rows of reagents and compounds you do not recognize. In comparison, this room is clean, ordered, controlled. As you approach, there is a crackle from somewhere in the dark. Sleeper, Sabine's voice shakily echoes through the apartment. Welcome to my home. I'm sorry I can't be there. I have had to make alternate arrangements. You hear rattling noises. Static. I was able to record this message, but I don't dare to show my face. Something is happening within Yatagan. I no longer trust them. Their voice becomes distant, slipping behind the background noise. I have something to ask of you. I want you to get me out. Yatagan were supposed to hide me, to protect me. After everything happened, I was desperate. And then after that, I was too tired to care. A noise, like waves, passes over the recording. But I'm done with them now. I want out. Screw the debt. But I need the insurance, something I can hold against them. I have my suspicions, but I can't be sure. I need information, and, as you know, you need me. A pause, something clicking in the dark. This isn't a threat, you have to understand my position here. Another pause. I know sleepers, I have been here before. I can help you, but not with Yatagan's noose around my neck. Get me data, get me information, get me something that I can use against Yatagan. Then I can get out, and you can get what you need. Please. Waves of static cut into Sabine's voice. Bring it here to my terminal. I'll get to it when I can. You look around the tiny room and try to imagine Sabine living here, working at the desk, sleeping in the bunk, blinking into the terminal in the dark. The recording cuts to static, filling the room with its white hiss, then silence. You sit in front of the humming terminal and hit a few keys. Sabine has left an access port open, but the rest is encrypted, locked away behind passwords. It seems Sabine might not trust you as much as they want you to think. Who does Sabine need to hide from, and what debt do they owe to Yatagan? You try to assemble the pieces, but too many are missing. The only thing you know is that without stabilizer, your body will die. You glance at the briefcase slab on the desk, its glassware glinting in the dark. You turn away and leave, the door clunking shut behind you. Back in the corridor, you notice the scrawled graffiti of a blade on the opposite wall. Yatagan. You feel yourself being drawn into something you don't quite understand. Well, I do have Yatagan data. That opens me up to a lot of risk, though. Oh, I do have money for food. Like, that means I'm going to hack more. And I'm gonna have to... I'm gonna have to actually... Interesting. How do I get to the Greenway? I don't know. Cookie, I hope you enjoy all the Kaine lore. That part of the game is incredibly good. May or may not make me cry. Oh, I have scrap components. Oh, I can sell those. Hold on. Oh, okay. That's some extra money. You know what? I want to see what happens if I don't pay Ethan's tab. I know that's probably a bad idea, but... yeah, that's a really bad idea. But... Let's see if we can do that. I need more Yatagun data, so let's pop in and need a 1 and a 1. Well, that's not ideal. Okay. No, not here. No, not here. Here. Let's do this. And do... Okay. Huh. I wish I had access to this sooner. Oh, fuck. Okay. From the walkway, the side real horizon looks impossibly vast, a landscape of plating and frames. Along her flanks, torches flicker, drones maneuver, arc lights glint. The sense of scale of industry is both stunning and strangely unsettling. She's quite beautiful, I think. You turn to see a figure a little way down the walkway, leaning at the railing. He is thin, ragged, his work gear poorly fitting and loose. The torches of the sidereal horizon flicker in his eyes as he turns to you. Lem. He leans back from the rail, revealing a child standing beside him, staring out of the ship. And this is Mina. Mina makes an appearance in the video game. Aw, that's good. I'm gonna say hi to Mina. She stares and tucks herself behind Lamb, who dutifully picks her up. She's a little slow to trust, aren't you, Mina? She buries her face in the folds of his overalls. Mina looks out from Lamb's chest, a dark brown eye twinkling among the rough material. You working on her, then? Lamb asks eagerly, gesturing to the vast ship. Or just admiring? He shifts Mina's weight to his other arm. Admiring. Understandable. He nods, gazing back out at the sidereal horizon. You like it too, don't you, Mina? He jostles her a little. She's Mina's and my ticket out of this place. Our escape vector, so to speak. How? You haven't heard? Anyone who takes a Havenage contract on the sidereal horizon will be entered into a draw for the transit support crew. He smiles. We won't get to sleep the journey through, but a couple of decades of service will be nothing for me and Mina if it means landfall on a new world. He winks. Decades? It's a long trip. He straightens up, stretching his back. That's a colony ship, friend. The Sealess Foundation is sending thousands of people to settle a system well outside the reach of the core worlds. It'll be a totally independent colony. No surrogacy, no corporations. Sounds crazy. Could be, but you see any other way out of here? This way we can build a home somewhere with real gravity, real air, rain. He plays with Mina's hair absent-mindedly. Rain, Mina. You'd love that, I think. Oops. Mina responds by pushing his hand away. Daddy, he whispers, food. Pulling an exaggerated grumpy face. She glances furtively at you as she plays with a set of dog tags that hang from Lem's neck. I'm just chatting a little, meanie. Give Daddy a sec. He turns back to you and you suddenly notice how tired he looks. I'm not on the Havenage crew yet, but I'll work my way in. You can do it too, friend. We have to stick together. He smiles a little shakily, and you wonder how long he's been working to break into the official shipyard crew. For sure. He looks out at the sidereal horizon, as if trying to pull energy from those flickering torches, from the vast hull. We've got to hold out, okay? You aren't quite sure if he's talking to you. That's how it works. While he stares out, Mina catches your eye curiously. You agree, Mina? She straightens up and meets your eye. Daddy loves me. She says it stubbornly, daring you to question her. Lem smiles and lifts Mina. That's it. We hold on. He smiles sheepishly at you. We are just a couple of softies. This is not right, Mina. He sets her down, standing by his side, and she clings to his leg. Gotta go feed this one. He pats her back. Maybe see you on a shift, huh? He turns and they walk down the walkway away from the shipyard. You see them talking, and then a moment later, Mina turns around and stops. See you, robot! Her shout echoes down the walkway, and she flashes you a parting smile before running to catch up with Len. You watch them a little before you turn back to the impossible scale of the sidewheel horizon. A ticket out. Interesting. This doesn't get me all that much cryo, honest. But this might be good for 2 or 3. Let's do 3. Hey, look at that. All right. So the 6. I guess I don't know what else I would use it for. Seems worth it to do. Okay. So we are full on energy for once. That's nice. Now, hold on. Okay, I can still acquire stabilizer from there. That's good. I guess I probably acquire it from Toshiro instead of Sabine. But at some point, I guess that might run out. You got ones. Go get that data. I'm sure encountering the hunter is not going to be a problem, right? What if I just die? Those familiar threads wrap around you, bind you, test you. Entity, submit. Hunter Strange had bobs in your vision. Your ally in the sealed dock cannot save you. In that globed head, you see whirling strings of data, so many spinning there that they threaten to tear through the thin skin and whip out into the void around. What happened to this creature? The threads squeeze and you lose any sympathy you might have had. You must escape. Strike. You lash out once more, pushing Hunter back, severing threads that regrow as fast as they are broken. As you slip away, you realize you have to find a way to deal with Hunter once and for all. This is getting too dangerous. Yeah, I'll fucking say. The Express. I can work here. Oh my god, I can work for food. That's good. I have to do them individually. Okay. As you turn away from the terminal, the final cache of Yatagan data uploaded, the air crackles with white noise. Sleeper? Sabine's voice, weaker than before, comes through the haze. Sabine? A sigh of relief comes through the layers of noise. The call must be coming in from somewhere on the station. This has to be short. I don't know if Yatagan are monitoring me. Their voice is hushed, distant. You try to focus on it. The data you've been bringing in from Yatagan agents, there's something in it I don't understand. A shrill howl rattles from the signal. This data is all gleaned from their implants, records of integration with their nervous systems, performance analysis, error rates, data usage data. I installed many of these implants, and I didn't enable any of this functionality. Their voice dips under the level of the noise, like a swimmer slipping beneath the water. You listen to the waves for a few seconds before Sabine re-emerges. Has to be somehow baked into their wetwares interface. And that's not all. The systems compiling this data are connected to some kind of transmission protocol. It's being broadcast. Wait, why? Every Yatagan enforcer is equipped with black market implants, retinal enhancements, adrenaline boosters, pain suppressors. These implants are gathering data on themselves, on the enforcers' bodies, on their performance. Why? I can't tell. But I can promise you these foot soldiers have no idea that this is going on. The background tone switches, dropping to a grainy rumble. If they knew, I don't imagine they would be happy with the situation. Yatagan could have a mutiny on their hands. You lean toward the terminal, strained to listen to Sabine's faint voice. I need a few cycles to pull all this together, but this might be the information I need to pressure Yannick into releasing my debt. Yannick? He is one of the heads of Yatagan. They pause. It is better you don't know him. Keep it that way. Suddenly, a banging echoes through the call. Sabine's voice is suddenly whispered, panicked. I have to go. Come back in 4 cycles. Then, the sharp crack of a disconnect and silence fills the apartment. You step back from the terminal. What does Yatagan have to gain from monitoring its own members? You try to recall what you know about the gang, but you have little to go on. You think of Toshiro, Sabine's minder, his mirrored teardrop implants set below hard eyes. What data could they be gathering, and more importantly, where are they sending it? You reflexively rub your forehead, trying to think. Can you really trust Sabine? How did they come to be Yatagan's doctor in the first place? You think of their kindness, their care, but also that glazed look of recognition that they gave you when they first met you. That look stays in your mind as you slip back out of the apartment, glancing around as you close it up and drift into the corridors of the station, unable to shake the unpleasant sensation of being observed. Oh, there's an event happening there. I'm gonna work for energy really quick. Okay. They give me money too, so that's good to do. The compressor is quiet today. The usual crowds are elsewhere, and the pumping music washes over a handful of spacers and a few drunks. Ethan is still on the same stool in the same pool of light. His head is low, close to the bar, and the bartender is ignoring him. As you get closer, he lifts his head and turns. Sleeper! He turns to look at you. Time to pay up again, is it? He gestures to the bartender. Come here, take their chits. No more, Ethan. Ethan doesn't even look at you. He props his elbows in the bar and holds his head. Sleeper, it's been a long cycle. I don't care. Ethan lets out a long sigh. He rapidly rubs his eyes with his palms. You were right, he says quietly. This isn't fun anymore. He reaches toward his holster. His elbow slips and the gun tumbles out. It clatters in the bar and falls to the ground, bouncing onto the ground between you. Both you and the bartender look at the gun. Stare at it. Butterfingers, says Ethan, and puts out a hand, beckoning for you to give him the gun back. If you would. Oh. The bartender looks at you warily. You crouch down and pick up the gun. I mean, obviously I'm going to point the gun at Ethan. Ethan turns his head in your direction a little, a sharp pale eye locking with yours. The bartender backs away. Oh. He turns on the stool. Oh, sleeper. He stands. This is more like it. You don't wait. You pull the trigger. The gun clicks. By now, all the attention in the bar is on you and Ethan, who looks at his gun with a bemused expression. The bartender raises an open hand, and in it are 10 shiny bullets. 10 shiny bullets he took out of Ethan's gun while he was asleep on the bar. Ethan smiles at the bartender. Oh well, he says and grabs the gun, slamming it back into your face in a single move. Fuck! Shit! You stagger back and drop to a knee. Somewhere nearby, the gun clatters onto a surface. It hits a glancing blow, but it makes your vision swim. Through the blur, you see Ethan wrestle a small, thin slate from his belt and hold it up. Enough of this. I'm logging the job and calling it in. Ethan taps at the slate. No more playing. Your head aches. Ethan taps through a few screens impatiently. He swears and taps again. He starts shouting, a dull echo to your ringing ears. He starts screaming at the slate and throws it across the bar. He reaches down and grabs you by the chin. His face close, his breath heavy with drink. SNR just screwed me. He grins maniacally. They cancelled the contract. He stands up. They cancelled the contract! He shouts at the ceiling of the compressor. You stand up, struggling to your feet, the sting of the hit fading. Ethan is rubbing his temples, his face pale. You hear a clicking sound like coins being counted, like bullets being loaded into a magazine. When you shake off the last of the blur, the bartender has Ethan's pistol trained on Ethan's head. Ethan stumbles back towards the middle of the room, all eyes trained on him. "I'll kill all of you!" He screams. He stumbles into the wall, spinning away towards the door. "I'll be back for that!" He shouts at the bartender and lunges out of the compressor. You steady yourself on the bar and catch your breath. The rumble of conversation returns. The bartender goes to say something, but then thinks better of it and begins to clean the bar. After a while, you wander out, into the light of the bright market, looking for Ethan around every corner. Holy shit. That's a fucking good scene. Holy shit. Okay. I need to start worrying about money to put myself back together, I think. Because it's not looking great. I think I have 2 dice left. Yep. I know what I have to do. Barely making a return on that. I'm not making a return on that at all. I spent 60 on them and getting half back. Being a sleeper sucks. Okay. All right. That does give me energy. Okay. Tomorrow's a new day. We have our condition is restored. I forgot to actually use it. Okay. Well. Tambour! Money! Huh. As you go to leave the Tambour tea house, a hand falls on your shoulder. Sleeper! Fang hisses from behind you. How'd you find me? The penguin. Penguin, what are you? He thinks for a second. Oh, do you mean... He mimes throwing gum in his mouth. That wasn't meant for you specifically, but... He cringes. Look, it doesn't matter. Come, let's sit. Fang guides you down a set of stairs to one of the Tambour's lower levels. The tea house is stacked with curved mezzanines, all connected by a central atrium. The levels are filled with makeshift booths and bars, and conversation bounces busily off the metal walls. Fang sees you looking around. This place used to be a fuel tanker's main drum, hence the name. The tea house part is a bit of a misnomer, though, and you can get anything the eye offers from this place. But real tea isn't exactly readily available. He picks a booth, itself old-fashioned from some old salvage tank or container, lined with spongy insulation foam, and collapses into it. He looks around furtively. Don't suppose you've seen any Havenage types. They don't usually come out this far. Feng, what's going on? Well, I'm suspended, that's the first thing. And the second thing is I'm pretty sure Hardin wants to drop me off the rim of the eye. He grins. Doesn't bother me, though. It shows we hit a nerve back there. He picks a scrappy, hand-scrawled menu from the table and tosses it over. What are you drinking? Thing is right. The menu is ridiculous. There's at least 10 different infusions, most of which you can't make out, but the paper is dominated by an extensive complement of esoteric alcohols and cocktails. Black tea is listed without a price as a seasonal specialty. So you ran into Hardin. Was he pissed? Feng doesn't wait for an answer. That snake is so self-righteous he might actually believe that Erlin would approve this meritocratic bullshit. He taps on the table. If Havenage was like it should be, like it was founded to be, they would have shouted him down at any council meeting he dared to mention true citizens. He sighs, but I guess his kind run the place now. A young woman with a vine tattoo snaking up her arm turns up at the booth, a slate in hand. Your order? You skim the menu, your eyes glazing over. Time to pick something. Gyro. Neat. Feng taps the table and to order the same. And you, she begins, looking to Feng. But when she sees him, she suddenly stops. What the? Feng shrinks a little. You were supposed to be working. This is your shift. He grins sheepishly. You work here? Feng waves you to be quiet. Look, Jenna, let's just say this is my break. My friend here has been through a lot. Jenna looks between the two of you. Cough. Jenna gives you a look like hard vacuum. 2 minutes, says Jenna, pointing at Feng, and only because I don't want to get dragged into whatever this is. She gestures at the table and walks off. What? Feng stretches out in the booth. You know how it is, we'll have to eat. Plus, he leans in. This is the best place around here to find a person you might be looking for. Who? Remember that web of connections that Hardin pinged the moment we confronted him? Those are his collaborators. And if we want to understand what a Solheim executive might be getting up to on the eye, those are the people we have to find. Feng is almost whispering now. There's a couple of them I suspect are in the low end, and, well, almost everyone at the low end comes through this place at one time or another. He brings the modified slate out onto the table. I've set this up so that when anyone with the network signature I'm looking for comes into close proximity, it'll mark them. Once they are marked, we can break through their access protocols and get at the good stuff inside. We just have to find them first, hence me moonlighting as a waiter. Suddenly, a smile grows across his face. Wait, I have an idea. Oh no. Look, I can't cover enough of the low end on my own, and so far I've had no matches in this place. With the two of us, we can cover more ground. What am I getting into? Well, Feng has a hangdog look. We need to get you out and about on the low end in close proximity to as many people and residences as possible. And it turns out my friend Mingi needs some help with deliveries. As in Mingi Express. So you already know him. Perfect. Feng places a tiny receiver on the table. This connects to my slate and runs the same marketing protocol if you get near any of our targets. So, all you have to do is take some delivery shifts for old Mingi, and soon enough we'll have the place covered. Feng, don't give me that. You think I like working here? And I thought you could use the tips. He grins. We are in this together, right? Are we? Yes! You think Hardin is happy to have you wandering around the place? He might have let you wander off for now, but I'm sure he has his eye on you. This is on you too. Feng slips his slate back under his clothes. Just head on up to Mingi Express, take a delivery shift, and we'll see what shakes up. You manage to find anyone and extract any data, bring it right down here to me. They have me on double shifts, so I shouldn't be hard to find. Jenna walks past, carrying a tray of drinks, and sharply catches Feng's eye. I don't think she's bringing your drink. He stands. I think it's time we call this meeting to a close. You grab the receiver from the table and slip it into a pocket. See you soon, sleeper. Stay safe. Feng adds, before turning and walking off towards the bar, whistling as he does. I'm starting to get the impression that Feng doesn't actually intend to fix my tracker. Like, just a hunch there. Seems kind of manipulative. Could definitely use the money. Oh, yeah, I gotta do a lot of work here. Get that going, huh? Alright, well, we can do that while we wait for Sabine's thing. God, fuck, we have so many irons in the fire. Oh, I didn't eat, fuck. The encrypted keys. Oh yeah. And you know what? Might as well do a 6 just to finish that off. And then you know what? That'll give me 3 energy for free, so you know, worth it. Okay. Sleeper! You see Fang coming up the corridor as you step out of mint geese, the kelp noodle smell still clinging to your clothes. He comes up fast and stops close, looking around suspiciously. I don't have long. Take these. Fang palms you a couple of those metal thumbnail-sized drives. Ripper worms. My slate has been buzzing like crazy. It seems your delivery ships have turned up our 2 targets. He squeezes your shoulder. I knew you could do it. Now we nail those snakes. What do we do? Hardin's boys are all connected by some kind of closed network. You break the access protocols on both of them, you should be able to gain the location of the nearest network ports. Slot the Ripper worms on those ports, 1 each, and they'll feed me anything and everything stored in Hardin's shadow network. He smiles. Can't wait to see what juicy plans they have in there. You hear the scuff of boots as a group comes up the corridor, likely on their way to place an order with Mingi. You turn for a second, and when you look back, Fang is already halfway down the corridor in the opposite direction. He raises a hand in farewell and is gone. You run your fingers over the tiny Ripperworm drives in your pocket and smile to yourself as you wonder how mad Jenna will be at Fang for this little excursion. Time to slot some worms. Oh, do I have to do both? Oh, wait. I have to do it on Yatagon agents? Is that what he said? Oh, no, wait, this is different. No, I need... Hold on. There we go. Ah. Yes, I do need to actually get Ripper. Yeah, okay. Alright, that'll be tomorrow thing. Oh wait, I can check both of them, I guess. A 6! A 6, you say? Great. Okay. Ah, fuck. Right. I need to, like, actually... Fuck. Yeah, because if I want to deal with the fucking... The hunter... I need to get fucking... Mind... Fragment. Okay. I have one. I need to eat. I almost forgot. This shit's starting to get a bit stressful with how much I have to, like, juggle every day. Like, it's a lot going on. Then now I also have to worry about Ethan's vengeance, whatever the fuck that might mean. Bean's back. Ethan has his shit going on here. Fine. Okay, yeah, let's deal with Sabine first. 4 cycles, Sabine said, and here you are, right on time with no sign of them. You wait a while in the apartment, the dread descending as the cycle spins onward. They should be here. You pace back and forth around the apartment, the rumbling of the station suddenly so present and loud. You go to the door and open it to an empty corridor. Close it again. You check and double the terminal for messages or recordings. Nothing. Just the pale glow. The silence. You try to settle down, to wait. You sit on the bunk and stare out the tiny room. Where the hell are they? A knock at the door. You're not Sabine. A figure stands in the door and immediately you know it is not Sabine. They are taller, sharper, and something in their face glints in the half-light. A dark shape, like a stubby baton, hangs loosely from her hand. Our local sleeper. Good to finally meet you. She steps into the apartment, glancing around with sharp eyes. What, may I ask, are you doing here? She fixes you with a steady, unwavering stare. This will be much more pleasant if we remain friendly, don't you think? She walks past you into the apartment, glancing around. We set them up here, you know. This place is one of ours. She picks up a glass from the dispenser and inspects it. People always seem to forget who put them where they are. She glances at you. And I suppose you are here to help? Something like that. Good, good. She puts the glass down and turns to face you. I love to meet helpers. We need so many and can find so few with the right skills. She spins the baton with her fingers by her side, her eyes not leaving yours. We have a problem, you and I. It seems our friend has disappeared, left without even saying goodbye, which means they are in a little trouble now. But it's the kind of trouble that you need help for, so I thought I'd come down here and take a look at their little hidey hole, and here you are. The help. She looks through the detritus on the side. And what help, a sleeper no less, which I have to admit is a little surprising. It suggests to me that our friend hasn't been very honest with you either. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, whoops. Well, I'm sorry to report that before we got them set up here, Sabine was working for your owners. She pauses. Essenarp. You blink hard at the news, unsure how to take it. Rabaya looks away, waiting for a response. Prove it. Happily. She crosses into the next room and you follow silently. She sits at the terminal and touches her baton to one of the access ports. A spark, then the terminal screen skips, and encrypted folders emptying themselves before your eyes. In the flicker of files, you see SNRP letterheads and code forms, reports laden with medical data marked with the corporate logo like the sigil of some cult. Rabaya steps away from the terminal. Look all you want, some of your files may even be there. The volume of documents is overwhelming, but they seem to be mostly reports on early emulation tests, surveys with sleeper candidates, reams and reams of usage data. If Sabine was an SNRP employee, why did they help you? Rabaya reaches over and places a vial of stabilizer on the desk, breaking your concentration. It shimmers in the screen light, its viscous, clear liquid crystalline within the glass. We will, of course, keep up the supply. We are more than able to dispense important medicines, even without the doctor. You hold it between your fingers, and for a tiny moment you have the urge to crush this object, for the power it has over you. I'll ask Toshiro to make those a little cheaper for you. He'll be running the surgery now. Rabaya closes up the briefcase lab and holds it at her side. We have to retrieve our assets, of course, but I'm sure you understand. Rabaya turns on her way out. There is no reason for us to be enemies, Sleeper. Come see me. I keep an office nearby. We have good work to do, you and I. Meet me there in a few cycles. She slips out silently into the corridor. You look around the apartment and feel the fear drain out of your body, to reveal the tiredness beneath. Wow, that gives me a lot of leeway. How much? 80. That means I don't have to save for the next cycle, and also I have to save less. That's quite good. Interface would be good. Interface would be good, because I'm also doing a lot of that. I guess I'm trying to be an all-arounder, and I don't know if that's viable, considering the kind of game this is. Like, Does the game want me to be good at one thing or good at a variety of things? I just don't know. Hard to tell. But if I have a +1 in the interface, then like, what was the thing? Wasn't that? What was the thing? Oh yeah, that was just the Sabine quest. So giving me Yatagon stuff to hack, which I can still do. I'll work one day here, and then hack some Yatagon boys, and that will give me stuff that I can sell. Get some extra dosh. Idea. However, it does bear noting that the hunter could find me if I get a little bit eager. Thankfully, I only have to hack 2 of that one. Oh, I have scrap as well. That's some extra money, too. And Jurabai is going to be so totally happy about me doing that, by the way. Hopefully that never comes up. Oh, are the merchants still there? There. I will buy one of them. Okay, so that's them done. And I have 2 ship mine fragments once again. Which is good. Means I can pretty soon, hopefully, make a 3rd. And then maybe get rid of the hunter for good. I didn't eat. That's a 6 and a 5. So you have a 5. Port unlocked. Whipper. Then a 6. I'm getting cryo sometimes when I open these up, which is and that. Okay. That should be that. Fang gonna want to talk to me quick. I should probably work for food. Let's do one more. Even if it fails. Hey, that was worth it. Okay. And then last energy or last action I will do. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's talk to Fang. And then I think at that we will wrap the stream up. As you walk into the tambour, you quickly spot Fang arguing with Jenna. You come up behind Fang and he turns and notices you. Jenna stops mid-tirade as you arrive. She turns to you. You again. You here to vouch for this layabout? I am. She laughs. Well, well, and what are you two up to? Fang winks at you and interjects. It's like I told you, Jenna. I'm helping them out, getting them settled, sorting their life out. They are a sleeper. You know what that means? Jenna softens. She looks a little embarrassed. Of course I know. She stops to think. Look, Fang, I get it. You're trying to help, but if you want to keep this job, you're going to need to be a bit more reliable. Fang nods solemnly. Won't happen again, Jenna, I promise. She looks suspiciously between the two of you. Okay, then. She turns to you. And look, I didn't mean to... just be cool, alright? She turns and walks back to the bar. Well, well, didn't know you'd stand up for me, sleeper. Fang claps you on the back. I appreciate the solidarity. He takes out his slate, pulsing with pale light. Now, let's take a look at what you are really here for. The slate is a whirring mess of code streams coming direct from the Ripperworms as they dig through the agent's data and spin it into threads for the slate to pick up. Anything good? Fang scrolls the display with a finger. A lot of junk, a lot of dull as hell message threads, a lot of tedious data caches, but Fang's eyes flash. Definitely some good stuff. He stops the screen scrolling on an entry and expands it. Check this out. Fang shows you the screen. You see a bold corporate logo, not Solheim's, and a word below. Conway, Fang says. He's working with Conway. Conway Extractions, right? Fang nods. He's been speaking with them personally. Got a whole chain of messages here, but it's mostly encrypted or redacted. He rubs his head. Damn it, this is juicy, but we can't nail him with it. He scrolls some more. Wait, what's this? A wasteland reclamation facility? Right here on the eye. He glances at you. What's the bet this place is tucked into the wastes? The wastes? It's the section of the eye Erlen couldn't reclaim. Was too damaged to cut off. Back before the collapse, people would have got there by going down the connected spoke from the hub. But that spoke's broken now, so the only way is the long way, round the rim, past the green way. He shows you on his slate. Fang looks away, thinking. Conway have been making moves on this system since the collapse. I heard they took over one of Solheim's old belt colonies a while ago, moved everyone out, and reclaimed the whole rock. Why work with Hardin? Access? Old connections? Not sure. Fang looks back at the screen. But if Hardin is involved in it, then we need to check it out. Simple as that. So, what's next? Fang stares out into the middle distance. We have to get to that facility. The answer to whatever Hardin has been planning, has to be there. And we are going to catch him in the act. Ah! Have a good bed, Charles. Thank you for hanging out. Give me 5, maybe 6 cycles, and then I'll see you on the Greenway. I seem to remember there's some old service docks on the outer shell up by the Hypha building. Should be a good place to meet. Fang squeezes your shoulder. Thanks again, Sleeper, for sticking with this. I haven't forgotten about that tracker of yours either, but I'm going to need to be back in my bay to pull a solution together. He turns the slate around to face you, showing a mass of scrolling code. I've been working on a fix in my breaks. He winks. Fang grins widely. Now I've got to go ask for some time off from Jenna. Wish me luck. He waves as he walks back to the bar where Jenna is standing, a look of exhaustion in her eyes. Ask for a break. Alright. We have a point. Fang's such a shit. I'm doing to it. We can have extra dice options with. Or, oh, it's interface. That was the wrong one. Fuck. Oh well. I feel really good that we have a stabilizer just in our pocket. That feels great. Okay. I really want to find a way to get into the green. Don't. Founders. Oh, shut up. That's really expensive. So much. This is the most money I can make in one job, I think. Okay, now I have 2. Meaning I could hack the Otagon. But I think I want to try to make money for getting into the... Just while we don't have to worry about... Oh, I actually have to see the Rabaya scene. Okay. Yeah, let's do that and then wrap up. Fuck. I keep getting absorbed back into the game. As you approach the address Rabaya gave you, a heavy hand falls on your shoulder. Oh. What's your business here? The enforcer grips your shoulder, giving you a hint of the strength her implants give her. As you turn, you see the same subsidiary eyes as Rabaya and Toshiro, glinting like mirrors on her cheeks. Rabaya waves her away. Don't you worry, I appreciate your protective instincts. She smiles at the enforcer. How about you head to the tambour? They have a delivery coming and they'll need some help with the lifting. Jaya walks away and nods and walks away. So, Sleeper, you came. I'm glad. It didn't feel like an offer. I'm sorry for that. She smiles a tight smile. You have to understand, finding you there in Sabine's unit, I wasn't sure where we stood. There are more than a few people on this station who would rather I was dead. I had to be sure you weren't one of them. I wish you no harm. I am glad. Rabaya begins walking and gestures for you to walk with her. She takes you down a staircase into the bustling walkways of the low end. What do you know about Yatagan? You are a gang? A gang, yes, that is what people call us. But what meaning does that word have in this place? People with carts push past, moving crates of supplies around the thin and winding passages. Our reputation is one that implies threat, is that fair to say? We are framed as aggressors, parasites, criminals. She gestures around at the people in the passageway. But when was the last time you saw a lawmaker on the eye? A policeman? Who makes the laws here? Erlen did. Indeed, you understand the history then. That is good. But Erlen is long dead, Sleeper, and his rules were little more than an optimist's manifesto. The Eye has changed so much since then. If you had spent your time in the low end, maybe your opinion of us would be different. This is our place, our people. The low end was empty in Erlen's time. They didn't need to house thousands, and keeping the yards and the rotunda safe was work enough. No, the low end was reclaimed later, when the refugees started arriving. Rabaya meets her eye. The collapse didn't just happen here, on this station. When Solheim collapsed, the entire system felt it. Colonies were abandoned, the moons of Ember and Cinder suddenly gained independence overnight. Some took advantage, some tried to hold it together, some fled. The Eye became a refuge, and Erlen, to his credit, extended an open hand to everyone. But many within his organization disagreed, and those new arrivals weren't as simple to corral as they had hoped. Rabaya leads you through a small market hall busy with small stalls and traders. Erlen's union was made of workers, administrators, people who were malleable, and already organized into hierarchies and networks. The refugees came from different factions and families, were scared, injured, desperate. Conflict was inevitable. Yatagan is a child of that conflict, a child born out of the need for us to stand up and claim our future. To provide security, strength. People call us a gang, but we are a community. I take my position as lieutenant seriously, and from my birth I have worked to earn it. Rabaya catches herself before she raises her voice any further, and you both walk in silence for a while. Among the smells and textures of the low end. You start to wonder if this place could be a home for you, too. Where do I come into this? Rabaya smiles to herself and thinks for a moment before she responds. I believe that you understand the importance of a refuge, so I also believe that you wish to help keep this place safe. She exhales quietly. For this reason, I would like you to trust me. I do not know what Sabine told you about us, but I imagine it was not good. I will be honest with you, Sleeper. I was never comfortable with having Sabine as part of Yatagan. An ex-corporate employee? It goes against our nature. But their deal was with Yannick. I kept my distance, made sure Sabine had their surgery, kept it supplied, that was all. But I cannot allow people to go back on the promises they made to us. Yatagan has not lasted this long because it is a charity. We offer and ask for support, any betrayal will be treated as an attack. They were trapped, desperate. Many on the IR, Sleeper. I am sorry, but we must ask that our debts are paid in full. Sabine found something. Please, I don't want to hear their accusations. They only wanted to escape their debt. They would have said anything. But where are they now to stand behind their claims? I will find them. As will we. You realize that Rabaya has led you in a loop, and together you both come back up a staircase to the walkway where you met. You are free to go, Sleeper. I have said what I wish to say. He looks out through the windows of the walkway. I would protect this place with my life, as it has protected me. I want to make that clear. He turns back. However, if you two wish to come under its protection, I can help you. Return here if you wish, and there will be tasks for you to complete. You will be able to see Yatagon, to see the low end, with your own eyes, not as others frame us. As for Sabine, she pauses to consider her words. I will not ask you to betray them, but if they contact you again, consider their motivations carefully. With that, Rabaya leaves, slipping back into her office while you stare out at the countless units, each a home, each with a story that make up the low end. Fuck, that's good. This game's fucking good. This game is so fucking good. Like, holy shit. I have so many drives. I'm definitely not going to be able to do all of these, right? Let's see. Like, the fucking intrigue of this game is wild. It's not every day that I find a game that just, like, immediately fascinates me like this, but, like, this is definitely one of them. Let's sleep. And with that, we bring the stream to a close. I'm going to... yeah, time since last autosave, 0 seconds. Good. Alright. So, that was a stream. Fuck, that's a cool game. I like that game a lot. I think I might continue it on my own. I don't think I'm going to be able to resist continuing to play it. No, fuck. No. This is gonna be a stream game, so I think this is a very interesting stream game. And I feel like having to make certain decisions under the scrutiny of, like, an audience and feeling like I have to justify what I do is an interesting way to play a game. Made out of decisions that are like that. That's fun. We'll do that, Tuesday? Next Tuesday? Yeah, I mean, it'll be a week before we do this again. But, you know, whatever. How we do. Tomorrow, we're going to be back with some more Great Ace Attorney. That'll be good. That'll be fun. I'm excited. I don't know how close we are to wrapping the 5th case, but I guess we will see. Is that it? I think that's it. I love you all. Hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or night. And as always, good sleep.